Before this podcast begins, I want to give out a quick disclaimer. This may have disturbing content. We talk about a lot of heavy topics and heavy themes. And also, there's, of course, a lot of swearing. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome to Backbone of the Internet. I'm your host, MrBonesy, and I am here with the co-host, LoudGhost64.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2, which I'm contractually obligated to make a Halloween-themed episode.
Okay. You didn't have to make it a Halloween-themed episode. You could
I
have...
was contractually obligated to make it a Halloween. You put a gun to my head and you said, this bitch better be Halloween-themed or else your ass is going to the Phantom Zone. And I said, okay, sure, I'll do that.
Aren't you already in the Phantom Zone? Okay, anyways.
Wait, is that where we are?
Today's episode is going to be random by LoudGhost. It's his topic. And he didn't tell me anything about this. So I don't know what it is going to be about. But so take it away, Ghost. What's episode 2's topic, which is going to be slightly Halloween themed because it is the month of October.
Sure. Anyway, hello everyone. It is I, LoudGhost64, 64th of my name, and today's topic is horror characters. Sort of. So the basic premise is we're just going to talk about our favorite characters from horror media, whether that be video games, books, TV shows, movies, whatever crevice of life we kind of like a horror concept. We're just gonna spitball it for a couple hours. You know, you get it.
I do in fact get it. Yes.
Also, you did upgrade my lawn chair to a folding chair. I really do appreciate it.
I found one at a Goodwill, and I decided this might be something he might enjoy. So
this one actually has a cushion instead of those weird-ass plastic strippy things at the bottom. So I do appreciate it.
So today's topic is talking about horror movie characters and stuff like that.
Well, not just movie, games and
games.
Just horror in general. If you like a series, drop it out. I'm particularly going to talk about a couple like specific characters, just from series I like. English.
Okay, do you want to start it off since it's your episode? And then
all right,
we might go on from there.
We're gonna start off with one of my, and probably a lot of other people's, favorite characters from arguably one of the most, if not the most, popular horror franchise, and that would be Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th.
Jason Voorhees. I do in fact enjoy him.
Who seems to be in everything but Dead by Daylight. God fucking damn it. I saw that trailer where they put him in fucking Fortnite. I'm devastated.
That is actually shocking that I heard rumors that he might be added to Dead by Daylight at some point.
They put his ass in that dead game fucking Warner multiverses, right? They put him in Fortnite. I need this man in Dead by Daylight. I mean, like, come on. It's free money. It's just sitting there. Come on.
I am doing a thing where this is like a slightly off topic, but I am doing a thing where I'm not going to use, not 100%, I'm not going to use these suggestions as full-on episodes, but I'm going to use them in episodes to discuss, so I'm not failing anybody, but I will come up with my own subjects. I'm just going to throw that out there.
That was a weird thing to insert right there.
Because I'm looking on I didn't want to open it on my PC because I was scared my video might play, and I couldn't mute desktop audio because that will also mute you. So I'm literally looking at my phone, scrolling through the community, just trying to see any podcast suggestions that I could actually throw in here as we're talking about horror movie characters. Anyways, back on topic. I love the Friday the 13th. I love Jason Voorhees. I think it's interesting that the first movie doesn't even have him.
But that's what makes it, I think, the first movie kind of good, is like it doesn't, like, we can all admit, like, Jason's pretty fucking baller. Like, when you think of hockey masks, you don't think of fucking hockey. You think of Jason motherfucking Voorhees. And what I kind of like about the first film is that, yeah, he's not even fucking in it.
Okay, I am back, Ghost.
What happened to you? You kind of just like blinked out of reality.
I blue screened. I think it might because I need to update my drivers now. I was gonna put that off. That might be the reason why I randomly just blue screened. Good thing I use a different way to record, so I don't actually lose any footage. It's gonna be a weird cut because I was mid talking. But anyways, as I was trying to say before my PC interrupted me, Jason, isn't that movie first movie acts like a thriller? And it's kind of interesting that it's like a whodunit. Like you don't know who the killer is out of the people on the camp, and then it's revealed to be his mom,
Yeah.
which doesn't kind of like mess up with like the whole timeline thing. Because the next time you see Jason, he's a full-grown adult.
Well, what do you mean? He was like well,
They say he was a kid and he drowned, and then like I think at the end of that movie they have like a dream jump scare where like the kid Jason drowns the survivor.
that was a dream.
Oh well, I guess that's a good argument to dream. How many movies does Jason have? He has like 10? 10 or
Well,
11?
that's the last film he was in was apparently fucking. Oh, hold on. Was the 2003 Freddy versus Jason?
I thought the last movie he was made was the remake movie.
Don't remind me that shit doesn't exist. Anyway,
that wasn't that a good movie though. I thought that was
shut the fuck up. I didn't like it. Anyway,
you didn't like it. Okay.
Anyway, so he's been in Friday the 13th Part 2. He's been Friday the 13th Part 3, the final chapter.
And he's not in 5.
Jason Lives.
He's not in 5 because 5 is like an imposter Jason.
Fake,
they even have a blue mask, like part of the mask.
It is a fake in the New Blood. But after that, it's Jason takes. Wait, no, actually, after that's what's Resurrection?
I think it's Resurrection because then he becomes a zombie. Like that's the next arc of his character, is he becomes a zombie Jason.
Then he goes to Manhattan for some reason. He goes to Final Friday. Then after Final Friday is Fraser's Jason. I forgot. And he goes to hell, I think. Yeah, Jason goes to hell the Final Friday. Friday 13th versus Jason. I forgot about Jason X.
Yeah, Jason X, where he goes to space. And like, I guess timeline-wise, that is the last thing that happens to Jason, because he's in space in the far future.
Yeah, his shit kind of gets weird. He even does a crossover with fucking Ash, I think.
Ash versus the Evil. I thought didn't he have a crossover with like one of the like movies of a girl that has like psychic powers? I forgot the name of the movie. Like Crystalline.
I think it was like I think it was the New Blood. I think it was the New Blood. Yeah, the New Blood. There's a girl with psychic powers in it, and like she uses her psychic powers to like resurrect her zombie dad in order to trap Jason on top of in the bottom of the lake.
I love how that's always how they kind of end, is that that's his weakness, is being drowned.
Yeah, which is interesting because it's interesting since that's his seemingly his weakness, but
I feel like it's just kind of traumatizing. I don't even think that's a weakness. I think they're just doing that to like make fun of him because that's how he initially died. They drowned him.
No, I don't see. That was in Freddy vs. Jason, where it was just like, oh, you're just afraid of water. But I'm like, that's really dumb. He's been in water a hell of a bunch of times.
Well, I mean, I've seen spiders a hell of a bunch of times, and I'm still scared of them.
Yeah, but like
to be fair, he died drowning. So if he got resurrected, I feel like if he
didn't die when he drowned.
I thought
the first time around. He survived. He never died.
No, but as like I thought the whole gimmick from the first movie is that the what's it called? What are the people called? The teenagers that watch over counselors. It was like the counselors didn't watch over because they were being like horny teenagers, and then like he was drowning as a kid, and they just
and then they never found his body. He never died.
I guess, but I mean, as a child, that's traumatizing. Okay, you know how many phobias come from like traumatic events most of the time.
I guess, but I don't know. As everyone knows, Jason is a pretty cool dude. Born in June 13, 1946. To, of course, Pamela Voorhees, who would later be decapitated, and Jason likes to keep her head.
Yeah, he keeps her. Has a shrine, and sometimes how you defeat him is also just dressing up as his mom, if you have the looks as a girl.
I always thought that was
what's his name? Tommy Jarvis?
Yes, Tommy Jarvis, like his little kid.
Like the kid that is like his nemesis, I guess, or like that's the main guy against Jason, because he's like in a few movies. He's not actually in a lot of them. He's like only like 3, right?
Yeah, he's in 3 of them.
I know one of them was like the fake one, the fake Jason, because that wasn't that whole movie him having traumatic events, and then it's like, oh, you're not Jason. And I know he's in Resurrection.
That was the second one. That was the second one he's been in. That actually is a perfect segue into. I just want to talk about like this man's died like 5 times.
Oh, 100%. Right? Jason died so many times.
The first one was, of course, Tommy Jarvis. He was repeatedly hit in the head in Machete by Tommy Jarvis as a child, mind you. So I think that was like one of the first times I ever saw him like under the mask.
Yeah, I
was that
actually
movie.
kind of don't like seeing what he looks like underneath. I think just the fact that you never see his face and then he has that mask is like adds to him, I think.
We have Yep, the second time he died was remember how I said that psychic lady?
Yeah,
Psychic
doesn't she
girl
just
had
blow him up, or I don't remember how she?
No, so he was fighting Tommy, and then the psychic girl does her psychic shit and like makes either a zombie, I think, of her dad or a psychic projection, I don't know. And that zombie dad like drags him to the bottom of the lake and like seals him there. Which only lasts for a movie, but like that's pretty cool. He was then in, of course, was it Jason Goes to Hell? He was blown to bits and dragged to hell.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Yeah, so he goes to hell and becomes a. See, this is where like the weird shit comes in, because I think in that movie they try saying like, oh yeah, you see, the Evil Dead is in this universe, and Jason was resurrected by fucking the Necronomicon and becomes a whatever. I don't fucking know. That's
like
weird.
A zombie.
Yeah, it's weird. Actually, I think he was a zombie before this.
I think the first time he dies is basically where he stops becoming like a human character.
Yeah, then he's just a fucking zombie.
I actually like him being a zombie. I think everyone can agree. I think him being a zombie is a lot more interesting to him.
In Jason X, he was shot and blown up by a cyborg. Then after that, he becomes the cyborg himself, and next time he dies in that movie is he's pushed in the atmosphere and then fucking.
He basically gets alien killed.
Yeah, no, he actually burns alive because atmosphere and shit.
Oh! I was thinking of when you said that. I thought you meant like push out into like the stratosphere and stuff like that, like just into space.
No, like he entered orbit and then fucking burned to death or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, Jason is just kind of cool. He's just kind of cool guy.
Do you subscribe to the ideal that he teleports?
See, I saw the map path theory. That was it. The map path theory, some theory that was like, actually, he doesn't teleport. He's just running really fast. And I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, maybe, but like, I don't know.
I like the ideal that he teleports because of the ideal. Well, also the Friday the 13th game makes it to where he just teleports as a mechanic.
It does make him teleport, but like,
he's already a supernatural character. I feel like it's kind of fair.
After he becomes a zombie, he's been teleporting, but I think I've described to he's just really fast before he dies.
Oh, I can agree with that. Like before he becomes a zombie, I think he's just quick. He's just a really like what's it called? Like a better human. He's like better feats. He's just fast and strong. But then when he dies and then he just becomes a zombie, he just keeps that stuff and gets better stuff. But yeah, I do like Jason.
Actually, I think in the 8th movie he swam really fast.
Well, that's supposed to be his weakness.
See, dog, I'm thinking like at some point you just gotta get over it, especially since you're a zombie now. Like at some point you're just like, yeah, water can't fucking hurt me. Fuck these guys.
And then like he kills Freddy Krueger.
That's pretty heat.
And I think that's our segue for Nightmare on Elm Street. Because Nightmare on Elm Street is pretty good. That's also like a classic. A bunch of movies too, I think. I don't know as if it's more. I'm not sure if it's more than Friday the 13th. I think it's less.
Hold on. How many movies does this motherfucker got?
I know he has the
How
first
many movies
3.
does this motherfucker
I know he has like the Dream Warriors movie. And I know there's a movie that is like weird where it's like fourth wall-y, where it's like everything's being played up as like, oh, it's just a movie, but it might be real. Like an actor Freddy and then the actual Freddy. I don't remember that one as well. That one's confusing.
There are 9 movies in the Friday the 13th franchise. The original 6 films, the 2010 remake, the crossover film, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. That's the one. Wes Craven's New Nightmare had the dude in it.
The dude.
So yeah, it was Wes Craven's New Nightmare is the movie where they stopped making, those movies, and the entire plot of it is like, oh, actually, Wes Craven was making those movies because Freddy Krueger's actually a demon that attached himself to the movies, and when you stop filming the movies, he actually comes to real life or something like that. And
what? That's such a. Is that the one that's all weird? And that's probably the one I saw that I was like, what am I watching?
Dream Warriors is the one where like they try like having lucid dreamers try fighting him.
I remember watching that clip as a child, and that was very traumatizing for Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors? Oh, really?
Because I think one of the dreams is like a sexual dream where the guy's like on a bed and the girl's doing stuff, and then she becomes Freddy. Just like other bad stuff happens. I don't know. As a kid, like, what's happening?
I think it was also like I think Dream Warriors was also the movie that introduced the idea that his mom worked. They introduced his mom, I think. Yeah, introduced his mom, Amanda Kruger. I think she was like a nurse at an asylum. And yeah. She was accidentally locked in the room with like a bunch of psychopaths over like a weekend.
I do not.
And they kidnapped her.
I do not remember this aspect of Freddy.
And they, trigger warning here, they raped her repeatedly, and when she was discovered, she was barely alive and pregnant. And as a result, Krueger was regarded as a bastard son of 100 maniacs or something.
Oh, that's actually pretty
because it's impossible to determine which one of them was his actual father. That's actually super fucked up.
That's really morbid. I don't remember that at all.
That was in Dream Warriors, dog. That was yeah.
I was gonna, which is crazy because I'm about to bring in something that's like opposite morbid, but it's kind of weird to segue into that. I was gonna say, do you subscribe to the ideal of Freddy being a good guy?
That was good. That's perfectly segueing into me saying, man, these movies really try making you feel bad for him.
Yeah, well,
at least in the beginning, they try making him in Freddy's Dead Fall Nightmare. They're like, oh well, actually, it was also after his mom abandoned him, was adopted by an alcoholic who abused him, and so Freddy murdered them, and then blah 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 blah, and then he was also bullied. But before he started killing people, he was actually married and had a wife and a daughter and blah blah blah.
And he was he was like a nice school janitor.
Well, no, actually, he was still a murderer. But fuck that.
Was he a school janitor?
No, fuck that.
I know he worked at a school and he was in the basement.
I can't remember.
I do know the whole plot was he was, and it was never suggested in the original films, but he may have had some contact with some children, and the parents were outraged, and they burned him in the basement, and then that's how he becomes.
I don't remember. I just remember he had a boiler room. I don't know if he was a.
I know. I could have sworn the boiler room was part of the school.
It might have been.
And then the remake or the reboot or whatever the hell it's called, the one movie that it's actually the interpretation used for the Dead by Daylight. That's the one where and another trigger word I'm going to throw out here. That's the one where they make him a pedophile.
Yes. And
then I do not like that interpretation. I kind of like the empty air, or whether or not he was just a killer or whatnot. But just having that being an outright confirmed thing is always feels kind of off. It's it feels like it was not needed for this character, especially since what you just said earlier about him and his mom and all this other stuff. It's I feel like we did not need to do this to this man. I feel like Freddy has gotten the worst backstories out of most of the horror movie characters.
Well,
okay. Well, there is another one. There is another one, but I did not.
You don't. What do you mean worse? His is the most fucked up, or
probably kind of morbid on him.
Yeah.
Because the other characters I think of course, the one we just discussed, Jason. Most of his backstories just involved him as just he drowned and he likes his mom. And I don't think there's any other added context.
I do like the memes of Jason just only hating when people teenagers just do bad things like premarital sex and drugs and alcohol.
I think that shit's so funny. I also do like that. He's just a nice bodyguard.
in fucking in Jason X, there was a meme going around where it's like Jason only wakes up in that movie because people are having sex nearby. I gotta find that clip. That shit was funny as hell. But yeah, no, Jason. Yeah, Freddy's Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy's Freddy
Oh,
is pretty upsetting.
so creation development. I'll just look you up some shit. So Wes Craven, the original director, creator of Freddy Krueger, whatever, was actually inspired to create Freddy, or at least his power stemmed from several stories in the Los Angeles Times about a series of mysterious deaths where all victims were reported having recurring nightmares and dying in their sleep, right? And in Craven's original script, it actually had Freddy as a child molester. Oh my god. No, it's all over, dog. He's always been a child molester.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
cooked.
He was cooked because Craven thought that was the worst thing a man could possibly be.
Oh, you
But
know what?
changed-
That is kind of true, though. You can't actually argue that not being true. That is like
The
one of the
decision to
few
make
worst
him a
things to
child
do.
murderer instead was done in order to avoid exploiting the
Innocent.
during the time there was a daycare sex abuse hysteria in California around the time Nightmare on Elm Street went into production.
Oh, that is interesting. I wonder how different times would have been if the world was actually nicer.
Well, shit.
That's insane lore drop. We learned something here on the podcast. Let's go back to let's just highlight what I said in podcast episode 1 and just say that we might spread misinformation just in case. But if this is all true, and I do believe you, that's cool. That's some cool lore. Jason is always like the most interesting one because he doesn't. You have to just. It's just your dreams you have to worry about. Not much things attack you in your dreams.
Not a. I do enjoy it, but I feel like half the time, like at some point, people got to start believing these kids whenever they say, "Oh yeah, we're having nightmares about this Freddy guy. He's like fucking murdering us." At some point.
Oh
like
yeah,
maybe after the third movie, you gotta start taking it a little bit more seriously.
Well, like in the crossover, didn't they say something about how like he's like, don't bring up his name, okay? Like we're talking about Freddy, he's like, don't bring it up, okay? We just finally got over that rumor, like.
But like at that point,
sense.
don't even say it. Don't even be like, who the fuck is Freddy? Like, just don't say anything. Just don't say shit, man.
Yeah, I do. Also, another bad thing about that concept is I feel like it can get stale kind of quickly because the whole premise is I can't sleep because he will attack me, and I feel like doing that for like how many movies? 9. I feel like that could get kind of like overused of just I gotta stay up.
Yeah.
I do know in one of the movies he makes a deal with dream demons.
Yeah. It was like these dream demons are like, oh yeah, we're gonna resurrect you as this demon guy, to haunt people's dreams. But like, if you ever fuck up, it's your ass.
Wasn't he? Didn't he have a kid?
And so
didn't he have a kid?
Yeah, I think that was revealed in Freddy Dies. Yeah, he did have a daughter who manages to quote unquote finally kill him, which was immediately undone by Freddy versus Jason.
Oh well, of course, because
Yeah, because he needed to come back and use Jason for that, blah blah blah. But then he was put down again by fucking
by Jason, and then the entity from Dead by Daylight grabbed him in the reboot.
I fucking goddamn it! But
which is actually very funny. What?
Do you know a perfect segue? Do you know another character from Dead by Daylight who's on my list of pretty cool horror themed characters?
I think the one that is actually named after the holiday itself, Michael Myers, Halloween.
Michael Myers. Michael is probably one of the older ones. I can't remember.
I thought Friday the 13th came first, and then
he
Halloween.
was made for the Halloween series. Everyone knows in John Carpenter's Halloween from 1978, who doesn't appear in the third movie because it's Season of the Witch and it's disconnected from everything else and it's a standalone film. Blah blah. Right. However, I like Michael. I think Michael has grown on me in recent years. Originally, I just like Jason significantly more, but Michael has grown on me. I think that's pretty cool. Also, I thought it was really cool. In the original, because I had actually watched the original not too long ago, the original like Halloween. In the credits, he's actually just called the Shape.
Yeah, they don't ever like. Yeah, he's called the shit. That's where he gets like. That's like they use that nickname for him a lot too, like the shape.
Yeah, which I thought was cool. He was featured in 12 films as well as novels, video games, and comic books, and is just like the fuck it the
He is supposed to be the incarnate of evil.
Which I always thought was interesting, but cool guy. You know, everyone knows he has a William Shatner mask that they. I think for like the first 4 movies, they use the same one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame
Which is why
him.
over time, where over time, that's why it legitimately looks so fucked up.
Added lore, added characterization. Of course, his mask will get older the more the years go by. I do think it's funny how Halloween was supposed to be just movies of like 4 Halloween, and then like the first movie ended, everyone loved Michael, and so he did a sequel, and then he went back to his original plan for the 3rd movie, and nobody really cared for it. So then he went back to Michael Myers.
It is what it is. Captain Kirk, Captain Kirk mask. Yeah.
I do like it even has like the iconic melody where it's like bum 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 bum. Like it's.
Dude, his theme song is so cool.
It's such a that one. I like the idea that he doesn't teleport. He just is fast. But I think in the actual new upcoming Halloween game makes him teleport.
I was about to say it. No, I think it made him fast.
Did they? I thought they said he teleports.
Yeah, they actually legitimately. I think he does have like a super dash where he's actually really fast. Yeah.
Maybe that was an early test build I saw then. Or if I could have sworn I saw something of him teleporting in one like the new game they're making.
Maybe they did, but what I've seen, they just made him fast.
But I do like Michael.
I like him. I like Michael. He has one thing I love about Jason and Freddy is that they're consistent, like one-way lines, right? But one thing I don't like about Michael is he is unfortunately a victim of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate timelines.
And not just that, but like 5, or not 5, but like several different like reasons of why he does what he does.
No, I mean like he is in 5 separate timelines.
Oh yeah, there's there's a bunch. All of his movies, like they're all in their own stuff. Like 5.
There's the original timeline. There's the Thorn timeline. H20, the Rob Zombie. I forgot about the Rob Zombie films.
Those movies are definitely interesting. I actually own those movies. I have DVDs of those movies.
Do you actually?
Yeah, because my parents bought them, and I actually watched those movies before. So like they're not crazy.
That is true.
I actually do like the remake they did with Laurie Strode as an old person, and she's looking after her was it not her granddaughter? Is it her granddaughter or is it like her cousin or not cousin? I don't remember, but like how she's mimicking Michael Myers in original scenes from the first movie.
Yes,
I do like that one. And then I could have sworn the sequel for it wasn't as good, but I never watched it.
Yikes! Yeah, this shit gets super weird. So we got timeline 1, which includes Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, and Halloween 6. This is the quote unquote original timeline,
and
right?
that's already like complicated.
It is.
Halloween 3 is on its own level, I think, because Halloween 1 is actually unrelated. Movie.
Yep. Oh god, that shit's so dumb.
They show it.
You know what's
Michael
worse?
Myers.
It's because the Halloween 3 masks are for some reason in the Halloween 2018 movie and the movies after that one. I thought were fucking stupid, but.
It's like a nice reference, I guess.
Yeah, after the failure of Halloween 3, decision was made to bring back the characters for Halloween 4.
That is upsetting. It's like, well, guys, we struck gold and we strayed too far away from that. Let's go back.
Yeah, because in the original timeline, Jamie Lee Curtis's character Laurie Strode died, and it then followed like her daughter as a protagonist, but then like. Yeah, it gets weird.
So what do you think is like the actual like what we should say is Michael Myers' backstory? Because I know he has several. He has like one where he kills his family. That's like the constant main thing.
No,
right?
I think I think he constantly kills his family.
Yeah, he always kills his family, but then it's always shifted off to whether or not Laurie Strode is related to Michael, and like the ideal is whether or not Michael only kills his family, or like he's always gunning it for his family, or B, she's just a victim of Michael Myers, and Myers is just a killer that's going after. What do you like?
I think more times than not, he actually just straight up just goes to kill his family.
So do you like the? I like the ideal that he's gunning it for his family.
I like that, but then I always think about it, I'm like, why the one? I don't like the idea of like him just. Yeah, why does he? You know, I like the idea that like he's always gunning for his family, but then I'm sitting there like, why does he just gun for his family?
He's evil incarnate. Like, he doesn't do anything. He only thinks about murder. Even his therapist was like, well, no, his therapist is also evil because he's like, I want to see him. Oh, he got hungry looking at like a dead dog. Like, Michael is such a strange individual. There's also like a version of him where he's like a cult thing, and like he is actually born from a cult.
The thorn shit. Yeah, the thorn shit.
I don't like that. I feel like that's adding like too much stuff that doesn't need to be added. It makes him more uninteresting.
Yeah. The curse of Thorn, which is the reason that drives him to kill his family. Yep.
Yeah, no. I like the ideal of Michael gunning it for his family, but like once again, I also like the 2018 movie where they are not related whatsoever, and he's just gunning it to kill Laurie Strode and just other people because that's who he is. He's just a mindless, evil murderer. I don't know. I do like Michael Myers. He's such a cool and interesting character. Those are like the big three: Jason, Freddy, Michael.
And you want to know who inspired the big three?
Oh, yeah, please do tell me.
Well, that would have to be arguably. Well, okay, there's been slashes before him, but like this is the most, possibly, in my opinion, the most influential slasher. And that would have to be Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974.
My sister thinks that movie, that very first one, is like the cinematic masterpiece. Like, she thinks when she watched it, that is like the best filmed movie to have ever existed.
Jesus Christ, The Glaze is insane. It is, however, a pretty good movie.
Also, I forgot to mention it, but my dad actually dislikes Michael. Just thought,
what?
Yeah, my dad.
Why?
I don't know. He's kind of boring. My dad just dislikes Michael. I forgot to mention that. Let's go back to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's nothing more to that.
I'm slightly disappointed. Of course, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or specifically the Leatherface, was partially inspired by the crimes of a real-life murderer known as Ed Gein, the Butcher of Plainfield and the Plainfield Ghoul.
And Leatherface, a lot of people forget that, like, even though Bubba and Leatherface, like, he is like the iconic character, he's not even like the major threat. It's his family, because there's other people in that family that tortured like the survivors and stuff. He is just bronze. He is literally bronze.
It's just Leatherface is kind of cool looking. I mean, he's a like a face. A person's fucking face on his face. That's kind of
and chainsaw and mallet dog, and then he just actually hooks people. So I guess he's not too far off from doing it in Dead by Daylight that he does in the movie.
That was the inspiration for that, actually.
Oh, that was the inspiration.
That scene in the original movie where he hooks on the meat hook, that was the inspiration for the meat hook mechanics in Dead by Daylight.
That is another fun tad bit. I do like that. I didn't know that. I also really do like Leatherface. He is actually kind of terrifying, I would say so.
He has been credited as one of the most influential characters for inspiring the stereotype of a hulking mass serial killer, predating and even influencing characters such as Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Chucky, and Ghostface. And of course, he has been parodied and referenced in several movies, feature films, games, TV shows, and of course, inspiring many outfits, fictional characters, heavy metal bands, and wrestling gimmicks.
Oh, definitely. I'm not going to say this is inspired, but it makes me think of it. Like Slipknot, I think is the name of that band. That definitely makes me think of Leatherface because they have all those like crazy ass masks.
Yeah.
That's it has to be inspired. I'm not confirmed on it, but
this is another thing we got to take out of the way, right? Okay. So, Leatherface is also the victim of a fucked up timeline. I'm just going to throw that out there.
There is a bunch of Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
And because of this, He has multiple names, multiple actual names, right?
Oh,
One of
really?
them being what I think is like probably the most like popular one, whatever, is Bubba Sawyer from Texas. In the original one, he's never called his actual name. He's always been Leatherface. But in the second movie, he was called Bubba Sawyer, which is where the Bubba name that MrBonesy here said earlier is also the name used for Dead by Daylight. He also was called Junior Sawyer in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Thomas Brown Hewitt in the remake timeline, Jedediah Jed Sawyer in the 2013 Texas Chainsaw 3D and the 2017 Leatherface movie. I know Netflix had a movie a little bit ago. I don't remember what name they gave him.
I remember
there.
a lot of people made fun of it because there's a clip where he's on a bus and then people were just pulling out their phones to record him.
Yeah, that was dumb.
That was not. I never watched it, but I heard, of course, as expected, not a good movie.
It was all right. It felt like it was definitely one of those movies where there's old people like riding young people.
Yeah, I could agree to that.
Is a victim of its time. Texas Chainsaw 2. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 had Leatherface wearing human skin of his victims, his family capture murder teenagers one by one. It was the first movie to have the trope of final girl, where the girl was the only one left surviving. That's the movie that started that trope.
Oh yeah, man. I do in fact actually like that trope a lot.
Of course, he was then in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which was actually a comedy movie.
It actually is considered a comedy. Yeah, wasn't there a lot of stuff in that? Wasn't there like a lot weird?
It was considered a black comedy slasher film. It leaned much more on the humorous aspects. If you even look up an image of its fucking poster, that shit's a comedy. There's no fucking way.
That is interesting because I don't remember it. I haven't indulged myself in all of those movies. I've seen like the first, but and then I think the remake, but I don't know if I remember watching anything else.
Then in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, they died, but in Chainsaw Massacre 3, Leatherface seemingly survives and is with a new family.
Which makes no sense.
Blah, and TikTok. Oh my god. There's a lot. There's a lot in this fucking movie. There's a lot of movies, and there's a lot of weird retconny shit. In Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, it actually is there's a 2003 remake of the first film. It's not the greatest. There was like a prequel to that 2003 remake in 2006, which is supposed to be a backstory on how they started doing their leathery things.
Yeah. Which is funny to get a backstory based on a real life thing.
See, Ed Gein didn't actually do half the shit that's in this movie. Like Ed Gein's shtick was that he killed people and then ate them. He was a grave robber. He had couches made of human skins, nipple belts and shit. Actually, I could. Let's do a quick segue here. Let me tell you about Ed Gein. Since we're on this is some real life horror shit. This guy was a fucking psychopath, legitimate, actual insane man. He fucking stole corpses from graveyards, killed people, ate people, made shit out of their bones and skin. He confessed to killing 2 women. He was stood unfit to stand trial for a little bit, but then they're like, actually, fuck this guy. He's smart enough, and they put him on trial, but was then found legally insane and then put in an institution for the rest of his days. This guy had some fucked up shit happening. All his family died, blah, 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 blah. People thought that maybe like his brother died, but people were thinking, actually, I think this guy killed his brother. Blah, 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 blah. His mother died. It's whatever. But this guy's actually insane. Let me tell you. So after they investigated this guy and they went to his house, let me tell you the type of shit this man had in his house. Okay. Trigger warning. This shit's actually super fucked up. So this guy had, so the reason why they're found this guy's house and looking over, because they're looking for one of his victims. And they found this victim decapitated in a shed, hung upside down by her legs, with a crossbar at her ankles, ropes at her wrist. The torso has been dressed out by a deer, and it was said that she was shot with a .22 caliber rifle, and the mutilations were made after her death. After searching his house, the authorities found whole human bones, a waste basket made of human skin, human skin covering several chairs, human skulls mounted on bedposts, female skulls with the top sawed off, bowls made from human skulls, a corset made from female torso skin from shoulders to waist, leggings made from human skin, masks made from the skin of female heads, which of course inspired Leatherface, a woman's face in a paper bag, a woman's skull in a box, another woman's entire head in a burlap sack, a woman's heart in a plastic bag in front of the guy's stove. That's fucked up. 9 vulvas in a shoebox. A young girl's dress and the vulvas of 2 females judged to be about 15 years old in a box.
Oh my God.
A belt made from female human nipples, 4 noses, a pair of lips on the window shade drawstring, a lampshade made from the skin of a human face, and fingernails from female fingers.
So he just killed a bunch of women.
This guy, yeah. He also had shrunken heads. But this guy was super fucked up and inspired Leatherface. And if you watch the original movie, like a lot of his family shit were probably inspired by the original
probably
guy.
Inspired by like the furniture that was on the actual scenes.
Yeah, so this guy was super fucked up, but he gave us this, which, you know, blah.
Let's not justify what he did. Let's just say
this guy wasn't a straight up actual murder.
Yeah, actually in the 9 pits of hell. And
yeah,
well deserved.
And then, you know, because of that, we got several movies of this guy, of Leatherface. His 2022 film, that was it. Yeah. This is one of the ones where they completely ignore every other movie except the first one. Yeah.
Because the first one's good.
Yeah. Honestly, they all deserve what happened to them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty dark. This is actually, out of both of those, like, other than the little segue we had with Freddy Krueger, this one is probably the most darkest one, I would say, because of his inspiration.
Yeah.
Very dark. But speaking of inspiration, these movies are the stepping stones to create Scream, Ghostface, baby.
I knew he was gonna go there. So, as everyone knows, Ghostface is from parody movies Scream. I'm saying parody, not like, you know, like parody, but I mean they exist to kind of like
they're not like they're word? Comedies, I guess. Not comedies. Really, because it's got those.
There's a word I'm looking for. It's not parody. It's another word that I'm losing the sauce of.
Parody, and then the other one is...
It's not parody. It's a fucking... Not satirize. It's satire. It's satire. Yeah, it's satirized horror concepts. Specifically the tropes and shit.
Yeah.
It came out
those
in
movies make fun of all the tropes.
Yeah. It made fun of tropes, satirized a bunch of things and this and that. It's pretty good. Because of this, he got several movies and 3 seasons of a television series.
They had
the first
a TV
2 seasons
series?
of that. Yeah, he had 3 seasons of a TV series called Scream. The first 2 were all of them were. It was kind of a bad series, in my opinion. And for the first 2 seasons, they even used the classic mask.
They probably didn't have the rights, honestly. They probably didn't have the rights to the Scream mask. Because the Scream mask itself, they didn't make up either. I think they bought the rights to that face, too. Because I think it was like originally an actual Halloween mask.
Yep, by Fun World Costume Company. It was actually a popular Halloween costume at the time, which got even more popular after the movie came out. Wingle. Yeah.
That is
in the Scream universe, the costume was actually not unique and easily obtainable. In the first movie, the costume is shown in a packaging in which is given the name Father Death. So even before the murders, like, this shit was popular. So that was kind of funny. How in universe this is still a costume that was being made before and after. And this one is also a victim of a complicated fucking timeline.
Well, I thought
It's
all
actually
of,
it's super straightforward, but super convoluted
yeah.
with a
I was
bunch
gonna
of bullshit.
say, isn't
And
all the Scream movies make fun of the timelines? It's like a straightforward timeline, but it's like
it
still,
is a straightforward timeline, but it does make sense of like convoluted shit that
yeah.
happens. Um, yeah, and one of the key things in Ghostface is that there's never only one Ghostface. They always work in either pairs or trios. Um,
And it's of course a
in the
secret
first three,
slasher who did it type of situation most of the
it
time.
is, yeah. Most of the time. In the first three movies, each killer shares the common goal of killing Sidney Prescott, the final girl of all three movies.
Isn't she? I thought she was the
And
final girl in all of the movies except for like the remakes. If there is a remake.
I think she was included in like the newer ones that came out. But no, actually, she's not the main character in all of them.
Oh, really? I didn't. I thought she was. I thought the whole thing was that she was the constant, like, because every Ghostface. I thought every Ghostface
There's a fourth movie.
had their reasons to want to kill her.
Okay, so when I say I'm sorry, I was misreading my notes. So there, in the first three movies, each of the characters share the common goal of killing Sidney because of a chain of events that started when Sidney's half brother told one of the killers in the original movie, Billy, that his father had an affair with Sidney's mother, and that caused the first three movies to happen. Right?
Yes.
Super convoluted. In the fourth movie, Sidney's cousin is actually jealous of Sidney's notoriety and plans to kill her so she too can become famous. And then in the fifth and sixth films, the movie shifts focus on Billy's daughter and her half sister, who are targeted due to their connection to Billy, which is again one of the original Ghost Faces. Yeah, a lot of the times in these later movies, it actually shifts like the motives to not being, hey, it's revenge, to hey, let's get fucking famous by becoming Ghostface.
They do focus on like the popularity aspect as well. It's also funny how they have like in universe like a horror movie called Stab.
Ah, it's so stupid.
Those movies are pretty funny because they just make fun of those tropes. Especially like and we also can't forget the legendary famous actor Matthew Illard plays Shaggy from Scooby Doo, Ghostface, and of course my boy Springtrap.
All right, gang. All right, get that shit out of your mouth. So I'm joking. I love that guy.
Matthew Illard's great. I mean, he's like a really good guy too. He's awesome.
And then, as I said before, there was a TV series from 2015 called Scream on MTV, where Ghostface was now called the Lakewood Slasher in the first two seasons.
Interesting.
And then the Shallow Grove Slasher, which appeared in the Halloween special episodes.
Did he have any crossovers? Did he have any crossovers?
From what my notes say, no.
Yeah, because I don't remember. Yeah, because Ghostface is
yeah, I
kind
don't
of
think he had.
thing.
Yeah, I didn't have any until DVD.
Which I think it's funny because Dead by Daylight, they don't actually use a Ghostface. They just made up a Ghostface.
Yeah, Throne Guy, which is like its own thing, which I thought.
I think that's kind of unique considering what Ghostface is.
And of course, Ghostface inspiring Legion from Dead by Daylight as well. I hate Legion. Legion goes suck my dick and burn in hell.
I always thought Legion was like a stand-in for the Purge. I ain't gonna lie.
I think it was probably inspired by both. I take it more of the idea that there being multiple, being a Scream thing. Yeah. And it kind of feels Screamish when you read the backstory and stuff, but their masks are more Purge-ish. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Ghostface has appeared in every single movie, most recently in Scream 6, with what's his face? Who's the guy who does the voice for the guy?
Oh, I don't remember, but like it's the same voice guy.
Roger Laban Jackson is the voice of Scream of Ghostface. And he was also the voice of Mojo Jojo, so that's kind of funny.
Well, that's a crazy, like, going from a Powerpuff Girls to Ghostface.
Actually, he was Ghostface first, then he was Mojo Jojo.
So, but he stabbed some people and then he went back to terrorize children as a monkey.
To be fair, you know, Shaggy over here, you know, I'm just saying he went from being Ghostface to fucking Shaggy. So,
I mean,
Matthew.
Hey,
anyway,
I'm just saying he went. Hey, that's not even a down. That's not a downgrade at all. Shaggy's great in those movies. He became the official.
Are you saying Mojo Jojo's a down?
No, I'm not saying Mojo Jojo's a downgrade either. He's awesome still. I'm just saying I think it's funny. So he became the ambassador of Shaggy. That's how crazy his role was. I'm not lying. That is true. He actually is now voice acting Shaggy in like other cartoon medias.
I like that. And of course, Jackson is usually credited as the voice. Which some good shit.
He has such an iconic voice. I do. He's like, "Hey, do you like scary movies?"
Of course, the original and probably the most. Of course, everyone knows Ghostface is in Dead by Daylight. He's in Mortal Kombat for whatever fucking reason.
Oh, yeah, he is in combat. Same thing with Jason and Freddy. They're also in Mortal Kombat. And Leatherface. Let's not forget that they're also in Mortal Kombat fighting games.
I did forget that.
Because I don't remember what they do or like what their special endings are, but they are definitely in those games as fighters. I also, speaking of Jason, let's bring it back. He's also in the newest Call of Duty.
I'm ignoring that anyway. So he's an but Dead by Daylight. Jesus fucking.
Everything except for the horror game that would make the most sense is kind of funny to me. Also, since we're on topic of Ghostface, before we close off his book, I do like to mention, because I think it's like an honorable mention. I think it's the most a second iconic is. I don't think we're gonna talk about it, but Scary Movies, amazing parody of his God. "What's up," and he has that face. That is like iconic as well. I think it's just his like "What's up" face.
This fucking guy.
I think it's an honorable mention. And I couldn't make a perfect segue for the next character we're going to talk about. But my segue was going to be another horror movie character that I knew had a TV show was Chucky.
Let's pause there. I want to tell you there's actually another parody.
Another parody of Ghostface?
Yeah. You know what's...
What are you giggling?
Do you know what it's called?
What is it called, Ghost?
It's called Moan. It's a gay porn movie.
Why do you know that? That says a lot about you.
No, because I was looking through shit that parodied it, and I was gonna say, oh yeah, I did have that parodied it. It's also there's a bunch of things that reference it and like do this and that, and this is just one of them I saw. I should that was
okay. Do you like dudes?
Okay. No. I can't remember. I tried looking, but I can't remember if it was also parodied. No, I was trying to see if it was also parodied in a movie Van Helsing, which does like parodies of slasher of horror movies and stuff. Can't remember if it was, and I was too lazy to look it up.
Let's just move on to Chucky, the ruffiest of horror characters. I feel like.
Don't look up that moan. Anyway, so yeah, Chucky, which I don't want to say inspired, fucking haunted doll shit. I don't think it was the first one.
I definitely don't think Chucky was like behind like the fear of dolls. I think he was made because people had a fear of dolls.
Probably. But everyone knows Chucky, originally known as Charles Lee Ray, was the main antagonist of the Child's Play movies. He was initially a serial killer who bleeds out from a gunshot wound and uses voodoo magic to infuse a soul inside of a good guy doll.
And then that doll gets gifted to a kid named Andy. So that was a crazy Toy Story spinoff.
I hate you. I hate you.
Hey, I'm just saying, it's a weird coincidence.
While originally wishing to return to a human body, he changed his ideas after the seed of Chucky.
To stay as the doll?
Yeah, because he then found out, and you could see this in more recent adaptations, except 2019's Child Play. all the other main timeline shit. It turns out he found out that he could split his soul into multiple bodies, so he kind of just said, "Fuck it, let's just stay as a doll," which is kind of interesting.
It is very interesting. He's like the Rocky one, I feel like, because like I like Chucky, but I feel like compared to the other horror characters we talk about, he's like the one that has like the most weirdest movies, like the seed of Chucky. He's a lot more of like a black comedy character, but like I don't know, was never a big fan of Chucky.
Yeah,
I do like him. But he's just weird. He's definitely a weird character.
but yeah. So in the 2017 Call of Chucky, he learns that, hey man, fuck this shit. I could just split my soul into multiple bodies, and so he does that. I think in the TV series they have, which I heard was good. So
I don't know much. He has a wife that's also a doll, and then he has a child that's non-binary, right?
Yes. I don't have notes on Glenn/Glenda, so don't.
I'm pretty sure the child's non-binary because I remember the whole plot was that Chucky and his wife were arguing about their child being a girl and a boy, and he's like, "I want a boy, I want a girl," and then the doll, Glenda, I think is the name of the child, right? Kind of just wants to be both. I think. I don't remember. Once again, I watched this movie like probably once. That was years and years ago. So
gender fluid.
Gender fluid. Non-binary.
Non-fixed. Yeah, non-binaries you don't identify as either. Gender fluid is flippy floppy.
Gendered fluid. Okay, so yeah, mixed. Well, I was thinking wrong because I thought he, Anyways, gendered fluid. He's gender fluid. Which I think is pretty cool.
Because it has two names, Glenn and Glenda. Slips between the two names and like mannerisms.
Pretty cool that Chucky's fine with it. I think he was fine with it at the end because he's like, "You were my child."
In the TV show, he was. Yeah, and the TV show even mentions like him liking the child. I don't know. It's a whole thing.
And I also do like how Andy, as an adult, has still pent up trauma from Chucky's.
I do. I think it was in the TV show. He has of the bodies decapitated heads on a little thing that he tortures, which I think is funny.
I do think it's funny. I kind of wish that when Dead by Daylight added Chucky, they added Andy.
Yeah, but as a
because I don't think I don't know. It's something I would have wanted.
Yeah, whatever. He's been on October 12th in a 1998 episode of WCW Monday Nitro, which is a wrestling promotion way back when. Chucky made an appearance to promote Bride of Chucky in a process confronting Gene Okerlund and Rick Steiner.
Interesting.
Wow. Huh?
Interesting.
No, he's actually made more recent appearances where Chucky co-hosted NXT Halloween Havoc as a face, assisting with the Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal matches, and then appeared a year after that in 2022, where he returned at the next Halloween Havoc, once again assisting in the Spin the Wheel thing. I don't think he's made any more appearances. He was in Ready Player One. As everyone knows, he was in Dead by Daylight.
He's in Call of Duty now.
What the fuck? Actually, I'm
he's actually no. Look him up. Look him up right now. He looks horrific because he's human sized.
I'm not playing that. Fuck that. Fuck Call of Duty. I can see why people hate it. Fuck that game. Anyway, in the original, here's some development background. Fucking hate Call of Duty. In the original script for Child's Play, originally titled "Batteries Not Included," a doll Buddy comes to life after Andy, Jesus Christ, I can't read. Andy mixed his blood with the doll's fake blood and would have it target his enemies, being an outlet for Andy's suppressed rage. However, writer John LaFia later rewrote the original script and created the character of Charles Lee Ray to possess the doll, now named Chucky, and have him go after his enemies instead. Child's Play creator and co-writer Don Mancini explained that the Chucky draws heavily from My Buddy Dolls, which is a real-life thing. It's a doll brand made by Hasbro in 1985.
Of course, Hasbro.
Made to appeal to young boys and teach them about caring about their friends.
Oh, yay! And then what's
It was,
Hell
however,
Nightmare?
controversial back then because, you know, dolls are originally associated with women and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
That's back
in the original
then.
script. Huh?
I said that's back then.
Yeah, even in the original script, he stated that he called it a buddy, but they couldn't use it because of the My Buddy doll. The director went out and got a My Buddy doll, a Raggedy Ann, you know, Raggedy Ann, and one of those life-size baby infants. They then told the designer, Ken Hyagher, who was actually known for Freddy Krueger's makeup, is a special effects technician. He told him to go make something similar to a My Buddy doll, and he then designed the fucking Chucky doll. So yeah. So Kevin Yagher is responsible for both Freddy Krueger's look and Chucky's look. So that's very interesting.
That is a very interesting tad bit.
Very interesting tag bit. Fucking goddamn Chucky.
Chucky is
anyway,
definitely
I don't know. I think I don't like Chucky as much as I like everyone. Not from a certain standpoint, but
I see him up there with the crew. I just don't prefer him because I'm not a big Chucky fan. I do know a lot of people who actually love Chucky, and I'm no distance to them because I think Chucky definitely is one of the classics. I can't hate him. I do like Chucky's design and like what he is in those original. The first movie, I think the first two movies are really good in my opinion. I don't remember. Isn't the third one like Andy goes to like military or something? I don't remember what happens in that third one. Or he follows some other kid, I think. It was weird. I don't remember the third one. And then it got very weird afterwards, where the Bride of Chucky and then Chucky's Seed, which is a crazy title for a movie.
Chucky's Seed.
And then and then he had a TV show. Chucky's, and then the reboot is like an animatronic kind of toy rather than a doll, and then it's kind of weird. I actually don't like the remake because like Jason and Freddy, like their remakes are okay, but like I think that one's probably like the worst one of the group. Because I do not like him becoming just a robot toy. Like I get that's supposed to be modern. It's also connected to like smartphones or something. I thought it was dumb.
It's a modern, yeah, it's dumb. But yeah.
I don't have a perfect segue for anything else. So
yeah. So oh hey look, looks like the board is back, which means we're gonna take a message from our sponsors.
You son of a can't believe Ghost is making me do this again. Today's sponsor is Killer Mudkip 115. Killer Mudkip 115. He streams somewhat daily. He's not very consistent, but he does stream, and when he does, it usually is more than an hour long. I'm usually there sometimes, and so is Ghost. He consists of playing a bunch of Fallout games and a bunch of Minecraft and a bunch of random ass games. So I hope you guys would enjoy that. That is Killer Mudkip 115 at KillerMudkip115. That's Killer Mudkip 115. Okay, we're back. Did not know I was being forced into another fucking sponsor.
Dude, I'm not. The board appears and the board sponsors. Fuck you want.
Okay. Anyway.
Every time we do that, it cup of soda.
Well, you cut out like 6 times, but I heard what you said. You got another can of soda or something.
Suck my fucking cock, you piece of shit. Anyway, about sucking cocks.
Okay, dog. What is it?
You know. So. You know what you feel when
I think I know what you're gonna bring up.
I don't think you do. So on the topic of sucking, you know what sucking gives you? It gives you pleasure. You know what also gives me pleasure? Pain. You know what pain and pleasure give to fuck you? We're talking about Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk to me about The Exorcist.
Fuck The Exorcist. I don't like that movie. Anyway,
you don't like The Exorcist?
No. Okay, I guess we're talking about The Exorcist. Okay, look, man. Fucking. I don't like the Exorcist movies. I know a lot of people like them, but they're never my cup of tea.
I'm gonna be honest. I did not know there was more than one. I thought it was just the first Exorcist.
There's like 3 of them or some shit. I don't know.
Well, anyways, we're moving on from Exorcist to Hellraiser. Pinhead, baby.
Yeah. No, all right. So I am a much more recent. When I say recent, I mean like 3 years ago. I finally got around to watching the movies, and yeah. or 3 years ago. I don't know. Whenever Pinhead was coming out, I remember it was like that era where people were like, it was when that one time where people were like, oh my God, Springtrap's coming. They're like, oh yeah,
Dead by
Springtrap's
Daylight?
coming to the gate. Yeah, the Dead by Daylight teasers and shit. And they're like, oh yeah, this is Springtrap, and it turned out to be Pinhead.
I did see a bunch of memes about that when Springtrap was added and Pinhead got taken out of the game beforehand. I was like, yeah, there's a karma, baby.
Yeah, fuck that. So basically, when that was still happening, and then like as the days kept going, like, oh, it's actually just Pinhead. What the fuck is Pinhead? And I've seen him around because I've seen the parody movie Hellsing, and they parodied Pinhead. And I've never seen any of his movies, Hellraiser. So
he has very interesting movies, I would say.
And I went and I watched almost all of them. And overall, the Hellraiser franchise is ass. But you really only watch the first 3 movies. And maybe the remake they made recently that was on Hulu. That one's all right. But you really only watch the first 3, if that. Pinhead, also known as the Hell Priest or the lead Cenobite, is from the series known as Hellraiser, where it's featured as sort of the main antagonist, sort of. He was originally appeared in as an unnamed entity in 1986's The Hellbound Heart, which was created by Clive Barker, who is also the creator of the movies. He originally made a book called The Hellbound Heart, which is part of, like, I think an anthology series or whatever. But then he adapted the movie in 1986 later to create Hellraiser. In the early drafts, he was known as the Priest, but in the movie, but the movie then didn't give him a name. He was credited as the lead Cenobite and only had 8 minutes of screen time. The production and makeup crew nicknamed the character Pinhead because his bald head was studded with nails, and the fans then said, fuck it, that's his name. The name was then used in press materials, Time media, and on screen in later films. Although the original creator, Clive Barker, said in 2020 that he himself hated the name.
Does he still hate the name? Does he still hate that name?
As of 2020, yeah.
Well. Okay. It's interesting. Pinhead is definitely
if you've been hating since 1987 and you still say you hate that shit in 2020, I think 5 years doesn't change your fucking opinion.
Well, it could have been like it could have been past tense. He's like, I always hated that name, but now it's like, oh, but now I'm like, it's, it's probably a good choice. That is iconic.
They specifically use the words despise.
Okay, so he probably still doesn't like it. He probably still doesn't like the name Pinhead for. I mean, it sucks to suck. Sometimes people make better opinions than the creator.
Okay, well, I'm not saying that, but Pinhead is one of the leaders of the Cenobites, which are said to be humans who are later transformed into demonic, in quotation, creatures devoted to the practice of experimental sadomasochism. They exist in an extra-dimensional realm known as Hell, or like one version of Hell. Hell. They live in Hell. Cenobites can only be summoned to Earth through puzzle boxes. One such is known as the Lament configuration.
Yeah, that.
It's called the Lament configuration in movies. I think it's something a little bit hard from books called the Lamarcant configuration. I prefer the Lament configuration because it's lament, and I think that's funnier. In the book Hellbound Heart, Pinhead is actually described as an androgynous being with a female voice, but in the movies, specifically 1987's Hellraiser, he's portrayed by English actor Doug William Bradley, who I fucking love, dude. I fucking love that guy. That guy's a great actor. I love him as Pinhead. But he played Pinhead in every movie except 2011's Pinhead Revelations, which was ass. And it was ass. In 2018, Pinhead was then played by Paul D. Taylor. And in 2022, the character was played by Jamie Clayton, who portrayed a female Pinhead.
I do remember there being a female Pinhead.
You know, in the comics, there was one, which was actually the female Pinhead in the comics was actually the main female protagonist in the first movie. It's a whole thing.
Oh yeah, interesting.
pretty. The female actor in the 2022 one wasn't bad. I think I kind of liked her performance, but like nothing can equate fucking Doug Bradley's performance for me. But that's its own thing. Yeah, dude, that guy played Pinhead in every single movie, even all the dog shit ones. That guy has fucking talent. I think when the 2011 one came out, and like Doug was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stop playing the character," and then he watched that movie. He's like, "Damn, I just don't like it when other people play that character." He's like kind of got jealous over it, kind of possessive, which I thought was funny.
That is kind of funny. He's like, I gotta take back the crown. Only I can wear it.
He hasn't played the character since. But I prefer him over literally anyone else's version of him. In the Hellraiser series, what?
Yes. No, I was gonna say what, like Pinhead's backstory, isn't it? Like he was a British soldier.
That was a good segue. I was about to say that.
I knew you were. That's why I stopped myself.
In the Hellraiser film series, Pinhead was once a British soldier during World War I, known as Captain Elliot Spencer, who became disillusioned with life and humanity during his experiences in World War I. Leading him to use the lament configuration he opened it, and so what the lament configuration does, it opens a portal to hell, summon the Cenobites to kind of do what you want, sort of, but kind of not. You kind of like wish something from them, and they usually give you a fucked up version of what you want and then drag you to hell for it.
And they basically torture you.
Yeah, because most people who seek out the lament configuration have extreme hedonism. We're like, dude, I've done everything to fucking get myself off. I like masochism, I like sadism, blah, blah, blah. And then the lament configuration is kind of like the final nail in the coffin where they summon a Cenobite. Is like, I want to experience all the pleasure and pain. And then they're tortured for eternity. Captain Elliot Spencer kind of went through a similar thing and then used the box. And then a creature known as the Leviathan, which seems to be the leader of hell, kind of was like, yeah, this guy is good material, and turn him into Pinhead. In Clive Barker's comics published by Boom Studios, which is still around somewhat, it's implied that Spencer was not the first Hell Priest, and that others, kind of fill in the role sometimes. Additionally, in Clive Barker's novel, The Scarlet Gospels, indicates that there's a debate on whether or not that there's always been one singular Hell Priest, or if the title or nature of Hell Priest has been adopted by many different Cenobites over the centuries. But for all intents and purposes, the Hell Priest in these movies is Pinhead. And he has several other characters, but whether or not you want to hear who they are is kind of like your own, your own shtick.
We're getting the meat of the character of this guy. I don't care about these others.
Not even Deep Throat?
Anyways,
look her up. Wait, actually, don't look that up. Anyway, so
yeah, good advice. Look up the word.
Anyway, his nature and motivations, and and just the Cenobites in general, depend. In the original 1987 film, marked a significant departure from the depiction of other villains who tendly just want to who are silent or like do one-liners while killing people. Instead, Pinhead and his Cenobites appear articulate and intelligent, and only kill when deemed necessary, and have kind of like a code of honor, such as sparing a girl in Hellraiser 2 because she was told to open the lament configuration, and then when they're gonna go and like do the whole thing, and he does this whole "you open the box, we came," and Deep Throat was gonna go kill the girl. He was like, "Wait a minute, it is not the hands that open the box and summon us. It's the intent. This other dude made her open the box," and they go turn their attention on this other dude. And Barker was inspired by Christopher Lee's interpretation of Count Dracula.
Interesting. Count Dracula is also a very classic Halloween character, I would say. Like, classic as in just character rather than movie or anything like that. I actually hate I hate vampires. So
crazy. Wait, really?
I think they're boring.
Interesting.
I think it's because
Uh,
anything in the vampires have a lot of weaknesses that I always thought was like, okay, why add so many?
Well, it's a victim of being folklore shit, and they always have folklore shit going on. So
Yeah, that's probably the issue. I like interpretations of Dracula, but like other than that, like I don't really care for like vampires in general because I always thought they were kind of lame. The idea that you have to invite them in your home or they can't enter, or there's
they
garlic.
can't pass running water, and
Yeah, they have a lot
across
of
any grains of
weaknesses.
sand. They have to count them all.
They can't be in sunlight because they'll burn. I hit my mic by accident. They have a lot of weaknesses, and then werewolves are like the other classic, and then it's usually the debate of vampires versus werewolves, which I'm not entirely convinced that was made up beforehand, and I feel like the movie Twilight is the only reason why that exists. But I could be wrong.
But how about a sneeze? All right.
Bless you.
Thank you, Dick. So
We don't have a segue because I feel like we're done talking about Hellraiser.
no, I had more to say about Pinhead. But
well, go ahead.
Went on your vampire tangent.
Hey, a tangent.
Anyway, so Pinhead is usually shown being a little bit more like emotionally stunted, despite being a masochist. Because in the original 2 movies, Pinhead wasn't exactly like evil per se. Like at all.
No.
He seemed very neutral, especially in his mannerisms. Like apparently the actor was told a bunch of times from the director to like be more minimal, be very like less, to do less as the character. In the original film, Barker describes Pinhead and the other Cenobites as demons in his notes. However, upon the character himself, Pinhead describes himself and the fellow Cenobites in a kind of cool like exposition as explorers in the further reaches of experience, demons to some, angels to others, which kind of puts him in this like neutralist territory where they kind of just do whatever someone wants. But then in the second movie, it's like, hey, they're from hell. They have this creature thing called Leviathan.
Hey, I'm not saying anything, but
they torture people.
Lucifer was a fallen angel.
So yeah. But then later movies, which is why I don't like the later movies, kind of make them evil, like full on, straight on evil. So I don't like that.
I know there was like one where it takes place in space.
No, don't mind. That's fucking Bloodline. They always, oh my god.
They always take them to space.
Hellraiser went into production during the height of Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Halloween. So this came out right in the middle of those movies, and kind of super contrasted those characters, because unlike the silent Jason and the silent Michael or the talkative fucking Freddy Krueger, he was very simplistic. He had very thinking lines. It's a lot of just salty to him, which I kind of liked. And then, of course, it kind of wish-wash with the rules and stuff later on and blah, blah, and what.
And then just made him evil, and later on, losing his character, kind of.
But I do like the character. You only need to watch the first 3 movies. Don't watch anything else. He also is super fucking powerful. Highly resistant to physical damage, resisting gunshots, and in the space movie, energy weapons. Can summon chains out of midair to blah, blah, blah. He's a very cool character. I love him. Yeah.
Did you know, and I actually did know this fact because I learned about it, and you probably don't know this, but I did learn this. It's like behind the scenes, like just like people who made these movies, like, directors and stuff, the talks and the screenplays. Did you know originally in Freddy versus Jason, Pinhead was supposed to show up and stop the fight?
There's no fucking way. Jesus
That was
Christ.
the original ideal they had in plan, where he was supposed to show up and jump in and stop them too.
That's not even okay. I would kill myself, dog. I'm already disappointed with how the fucking franchise turned out. I don't need that. The comics are excellent, but like I don't need to be that more disappointed in the movies. Jesus.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest though, that would have been kind of cool to see. Although it does feel so
I'd
out
rather
of
kill
nowhere.
myself.
This feels so out of nowhere. I do know that is 100% real. Trust me on that. I also do know in the comics. I'm pretty sure Ash versus the Evil Dead. He also fights Jason. I'm pretty sure.
I mentioned that earlier.
I know, but like we didn't really talk about it. I could have already fought like 2 of the horror movie characters, didn't he? He fought Jason and Freddy at the same time.
I think he did. Hold on. I don't think he. I think he only did. He went to Marvel for. He did.
Yeah, he did fight both of them. Jason versus Freddy versus Ash.
Oh my fucking god!
He
damn
fought
it,
both of them.
Ash, get your ass out of there!
He has also apparently crossovered with The Walking Dead.
Yeah, okay, that was the one that was reaching me. Yeah, he did that too. Yeah. Yeah, there's just a period in comics where he just appeared shit for a bit.
Ash meets War of the Worlds.
Again, he was just kind of he was crossing over with a bunch of fucking people.
Kiss.
Again, he was just crossing over the.
Oh my god, yeah, he is just in a lot. Of course, Marvel Zombies, which is kind of funny.
Yep, Marvel Zombies. He was Mad? In the prequel comics for that. Yeah, everyone's in Mad.
This guy has been in nearly everything.
Yeah, bro will never rest. Hell, shit's bad for him.
Isn't he supposed to be like the the number one human? Like he's supposed to be the savior of humanity?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the evil.
You don't
I think they're okay
you don't
movies.
Like it? Oh, okay.
I think they're okay movies. I'm not like a super fan on it,
I would like to get into it because I have actually never gotten into The Evil Dead.
I watched the newest one, and I thought that shit was kind of cool.
So we've been talking a lot about horror movie characters. Keywords is movie. I feel like it's nice to take a step back because like I know this character, so I can actually speak. Although unlike you, I don't have a list because I didn't prepare since you didn't tell me what episode or what we were gonna do. For all I know, this could be talking about Halloween costumes.
Let me pause you there and let me revert our conversation to a couple weeks ago when you did ask. I don't know what we're gonna do for this episode. I told you, oh yeah, we're just gonna talk about horror characters. And you're like, okay, cool. Let me go do something with that.
I thought you were just like saying that as an in general. Like I didn't know the subject was just going to be that. I thought you were just going to say. I thought that was an in general statement. Because you did tell me that you weren't going to tell me any of the subjects.
Yeah, I told you that one because that one I specifically come with shit. So it's not just me coming with shit.
Okay. Anyways, to go back to what I was saying, we've been talking about horror movie characters. Why don't we talk about a character that I think is deserved for the game title, Slender Man? Yes, the creepy pastas, those fucking guys. I feel like Slender Man is definitely an interesting character due to the fact that he is literally made in a not a creepypasta. He was made on something awful forms. He was a photoshopped image, 2 images of a tall man with no features. And usually around children. And so that kind of ran with people. The internet ran with that. He got his own creepypasta. And then the major thing that followed it, which a lot of people think is the video game Slender, the 8 pages, which in fact is not true. The thing that followed it is Marble Hornets.
Yes, the fucking there's a word I'm losing.
Yeah, you got the word, or
yeah, that was the forefront fucking analog horror shit, wasn't it?
Yeah, like the forerunner. Yeah, pretty much. Marble Hornets, Marble Hornets precursor. Yes. Marble Hornets basically made their own series. They had 2 YouTube channels connected to and a Twitter at the time to convey their story. Slenderman's logo and his pages and what he kind of does is basically all inspired from Marble Hornets. Everything you see him do is most likely from them. He the protagonists are trying to film a movie called Marble Hornets, and over the course of the time of them doing this, they become very sick and very ill due to the fact that they got Slenderman sickness, or they don't even call him Slenderman, they call him the Operator. And his motives are unknown. We don't know what he does. I don't know extensive amount of knowledge because they do release comics of Marble Hornets, and I actually learned about that recently. And I don't know what's in those comics. And they actually just came back with new stuff, and there's like a theory already about what it is. But the main general thought is that this person you're following, calm down. Oh, take your wrappers away. This person named Jay is watching old footage they had and realizing a lot of weird and creepy stuff. So he tries to investigate, and he gets hunted down by another crew member, Alex. And
Alex?
Alex. Weirdly enough, funny enough. And during the course, they're not proxies. These are specifically other characters who are infected by Slenderman sickness, but they do not operate under the Operator. They are the other famous characters that got their own creepypastas, Masky and Hoodie. They are people who are very sick from the Slenderman sickness, but they do not work with the Slenderman. And they actually run the other YouTube channel that makes fun of Jay and continues the plot. And spoilers, I guess, for Marble Hornets. This only survivor of all of this is like two of the girl characters and then Masky, which is named Tim.
Fucking Slenderman.
And then Slenderman, of course, got Slender the 8 pages, and the pages come from Marble Hornets because one of the characters who were going insane just drew a bunch of pages. Of course, the Operator symbol, the circle with an X there, is a symbol. And of course, Slenderman is a household name, I would say, spinning off different games. He's actually owned by Mythology, that copyright, but it broke up, the company, so now his copyright is in question. He had a movie, which was terrible. Don't watch the Slenderman movie.
2 movies.
Yeah, 2 movies? I don't even remember the second one.
The 2015 Marble Hornets. Always watching Marble Hornets, a 2015 movie.
That's probably the good one.
And the 2018 film, Slenderman.
Yeah, that's the one I saw. I actually fell asleep watching that. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, it's the 2015 one, dog. I'm sorry that you didn't know. That one's directly an adaptation of Marble Hornets. Crazy. You didn't know that. That's wild.
I did not know that. I have to probably look into it. But yeah, and then of course, I guess as a trigger warning, it did inspire a real life murder of 2 girls who just went out and killed another person. I think they might have survived the stabbings, but I don't remember the case.
They survived.
They survived.
It was the near fatal stabbing in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Yeah. Also, if I remember correctly, a lot of misinformation is spread because people thought it was just for Slenderman. It was actually creepypasta in general because they had a paper the girls made about if they met other creepypasta characters, mainly Jeff the Killer and like other creepy characters.
Damn.
So it wasn't just Slenderman. They were creepypasta fans and they thought if they did this, they would be appeasing Slenderman and that they would be taken in. Very messed up, very morbid. Slenderman, of course, has appeared as an Easter egg in a bunch of other games and shows and a bunch of other cool medias. I actually don't have anything popped up for like what Slenderman crossovers there are. There's a lot of misinformation about what he crosses over in. Like, people say he's in Gravity Falls, which in fact is not true. That is photoshopped. The issue with Slenderman, of course, is that he is literally just like internet character that exists because of the internet. He's also inspired Endermen from Minecraft. Endermen are only there because of Slenderman. Which is an interesting thing. You know what pisses me off? Is I tried to search up crossovers for Slenderman and I got thousands of fan art. This is not... I tried to get like actual like crossovers. But like I literally got like actually nothing. I'm kind of disappointed. I do know one crossover. Like I don't even, I wanted to find other examples, but like I only know one exists because I thought it was so bizarre and weird to me that he exists in it. But it pisses. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. Screw me, I guess. He is one of his official crossovers. He's in like an indie game, a running game. I don't know what it's called. It's in Framemakers. We did play it. It's like He crosses over in that game. I know that for sure. He's also in Plants vs Zombies: Modern Warfare.
What the fuck was he actually?
Yeah, he's also in Phasmophobia, but I think I don't know if it's still there. He's in Phasmophobia along with Jason is a reference, and then Blair Witch, and I think Sadako. That one's I'm not sure about Sadako being an official reference. And the one I thought that was the most strangest crossover, which is the only one that came to mind about crossovers, and fan fiction kind of ruined my life because I don't know why he just gave me fan fiction or fan art. He's also in My Little Pony as an actual official like background Easter egg, which is a very weird thing that he's in. So Slenderman's kind of all over the place.
Why do you know that last fact?
Because I was watching a video. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching some because I was in the Marble Hornets phase and I was watching a bunch of Slenderman stuff, and that's a real thing. He's in the background behind a tree. And he's not even a slender man, he's a slender pony. He's actually shaped like them, which is weird. Anyways, that's all I know about Slenderman. Slenderman: The Arrival got a remake, not a remake, a polished stuff where it has more modern graphics. Slenderman: The Arrival is also considered to be in the same timeline as Slenderman: The Eight Pages, and they add their own lore. Of course, Slenderman's also just kind of not free to use. If you make it paid, I think you have to have the copyright, but you could just make Slenderman fan games that are free. He's basically whatever you want him to be, whether or not he makes proxies, whether or not he hunts children. He's a very interesting and fun character, I say. I think he extends beyond creepypasta because of how well known and what he has done in his lifetimes.
He's a slave to the art.
He is. 100% is. I like the fact that he's unexplainable. I actually have a Slenderman costume. I went as Slenderman for a Halloween once. I ain't gonna lie.
I remember.
I personally like Slenderman. I don't have any other crossovers, or not crossovers, any other segues. I do have a franchise I would like to talk about, but I don't know how to segue into it. But let's talk about Alex's favorite movies.
Oh my! What? He has a favorite movie? Impossible.
Well, other than Legion, other than that movie, that's his favorite top tier movie. His favorite horror movies are Saw, baby.
What?
He likes Saw.
Oh God! I thought you were gonna say Killer Clowns from Space. I was gonna say I don't know too much about that. Yeah, Saw. Yeah.
I think that movie's called Legion, but the Saw, baby. Saw. I'm hoping it's on your notes because that is classic.
I do have it. Saw the horror franchise created by James and Lee Wannell, which began in a 2004 film, which I think was like I forgot what the origins of that movie was. I can't remember if it's like it was made very low budget, so that's why they only stayed in one fucking room. But it revolves around the serial killer John Jigsaw Kramer and his apprentices. He was at the end of Saw, and then his shit was expanded in subsequent films. Rather than killing his victims outright, he trapped them in tests or games to test their will to survive through physical or psychological torture, believing that if they survive, they will be rehabilitated.
Yeah,
which is some bullshit. Because every time they survive, they're either super fucked up or they end up as one of his apprentices, which I think is shit.
Or they're shoved in another trap.
Basically. I hate them. In 2003, Wan and Wannell made a short film to help pitch a potential feature film concept after having the original script written for several years. After numerous attempts to fund it in Australia, their original home, they went to America after several producers expressed interest in the movie. After being successful, in 2004, they filmed they made their first movie and debuted it at the Sundance Film Festival, which is that annual film festival that a bunch of people fucking put movies in.
Yes.
A lot of good movies come from there. Honestly. And it was released theatrically in October by Lionsgate. After a super successful opening weekend, several other films were greenlit, and 5 directors have worked the series. James Wan, one of the original. Darren Lynn, which was one of the original. No, actually, no, he wasn't. James Wan, which is one of the original 2 dudes, the script, directed the movie, as well as Darren Lynn, who directed Saw 2, 3, 4, and Spiral. David Hackle, Kevin Gertrude, and the Sparig brothers.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Who made the 2017 Jigsaw film? While the Wennell, Bozeman, Patrick, basically a bunch of people write this shit. A bunch of people direct it. And both of the original creators remain as executive producers on all the movies, even if they're not directing or writing it. The series has been, pretty decently a box office success. The first, second, third, sixth, and ninth films have mixed reviews, while the fourth, fifth, seventh, and eighth film have negative reviews. The 10th has received generally positive reviews, becoming the only film in the franchise to do so.
Oh,
the 11th film was the 11th film was scheduled for September 2025, but was stalled in 2020 March. Yikes. Excuse me, television series.
There's a TV show or a planned TV show for Saw.
What the fuck is Scream Queens?
What?
I had to look this up. I randomly put this in there, and I don't think
you just didn't. You didn't finish the research on this one.
No, I didn't. Scream Queens is an American reality TV series on VH1 produced by Joke Productions and Lionsgate Television. The show chronicles a group of unknown actresses competing for a role in the Saw TV film series. Andra Howard won the first season and gained a role in Saw 6. The second season aired on August 2nd, 2010, and the winner, Gabby West, won a role in Saw 3D.
What is with these horror movie characters getting TV shows? That is a weird conundrum.
No, these aren't actually this isn't a Saw TV show. It's actors having an act off to be in a Saw movie.
Okay. So, that makes it better, I guess, or more clear.
But yeah, these movies had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 movies, being Saw, Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, Saw 3D, because every single horror movie fucking became a 3D movie because they unlocked the technology in the 2000s and oh yeah, let's make a 3D movie, blah, 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 stupid. Jigsaw, Spiral, and Saw 10. Because everyone likes Saw 10 apparently. So Saw 10
wasn't Saw 10
is the only one with overwhelming. I don't know. Haven't Saw 10. So Saw X if you want to be a little bastard, but does set up a future. Yeah, so they actually delayed filming by a lot. Holy shit.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see. It also had 3 short films.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there was Saw 0.5, which is a 2000. So this is Saw, right? A 2003 short film, referred to as Saw 0.5, is a 2003 short film that served as a promotional tool in pitching a full-length film. So it's basically like the beta film, right?
Oh, okay. Beta film.
There's Full Disclosure Report, which is a mockumentary short film, which was released in 2005 as part of Saw Uncut. The story takes place in between the first and second films and features reporters trying to figure out who Jigsaw is and discussing his villains. It is the first time Detective Eric Matthews appears before his appearance in Saw 2. Another mockumentary film, the Scott Tibbs documentary, was released in 2006 as part of Saw 2 Unrated Special Edition DVD release. The story takes place in between the second and third films, where Adam Streighall's friend Scott Tibbs, leader of the rock band Wrath of Gods, is filming a documentary about Jigsaw and his victims. And then other shit. I don't know. It's whatever. You know the characters. Fucking yeah. Each of the movies is a little bit confusing because sometimes they always flash back to fucking Jigsaw's whole reasons for doing his jigsaw shit.
And he always has like new reasons in like most movies. It's like, hey, he got in a car crash. He has a cancer. His wife's baby died. He has new reasons for why he does what he does.
It's yeah. Most of the traps. Oh, according to David Hackle, who is one of the directors for one of the films, all the traps are real objects and not CGI. They're designed to look horrific, but ultimately safe for the actors in them. The most dangerous object, they claimed, was used in Saw 5, which was the water box, in which one of the actors, Scott Patterson, who was Peter Stram, had to keep his head submerged as long as possible. So he was kind of underwater for a little bit. Actually underwater for a little bit. So that got people.
He actually got tortured for that role.
And this one I think was a bit that was spread by the production team, where like during that needle one.
Oh, in Saw 2, where they throw the Amanda into the needle pit.
Oh. So the tips were rubber, right? They painstakingly went through and made, right? So apparently, and this is I'm pretty sure not real, but is constantly spread by the internet, is that at some point they accidentally poured in actual needles and then had to go through and get all the real needles out to ensure like they don't actually push her in a pit of real needles, which I think is not real because that sounds stupid as fuck.
Yeah, it makes no sense. If we're gonna, why would you make a bunch of these rubber needles?
I think what happened. So what they're saying is they ordered real needles, took out the metal tips, and put in rubber ones, and then while they're having these boxes being shuffled around, they accidentally shuffled in the box of actual needle-having needles or some shit. I don't know. I don't think that's real. I don't buy that story because that sounds incredibly unsafe. And I think they know a little bit better than that. But apparently all the Saw traps, except the ones made by his apprentices, actually, the writers and directors and shit actually come up with how you're supposed to beat them. Of course, none of the characters fucking do beat them, so they get fucked.
It's supposed to be like John Kramer actually makes solvable traps, although a bit kind of about bullshit too, because I think one of the traps is a guy covered in oil with a candle walking around a room with glass, and he has to find the code, which is, I'm gonna be honest, nearly impossible unless the code is like in weird numbers, but they never show what's supposed to be the code. That one's the only one I could think of right away. That's not fair. But anything made by him, the ideal is that it's supposed to be solvable. Anything made by like Amanda or any other character is like either they can be solved or they're like not fair to solve.
Yeah, like I know the entire point of that shit is like, oh yeah, you're supposed to like, appreciate life, blah blah blah. But fuck my life for half of that shit. That make me not want to appreciate. I think that was even one of the topics in one of the movies where like the opening sequence shows like a woman having to cut off her arm in order to beat someone else's like. They had to cut off pieces of their body.
Yes, I do know that
another
movie.
Person's weight, right?
She's like, yeah, and then she says like, she goes through like a circle of people who also survived.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be like, oh yeah, why are we more appreciative? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, I don't appreciate shit, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't appreciate shit either. Half things make you blind or paraplegic or fucking whatever. Fuck that noise.
Yeah, I do like that. Isn't that the same? Isn't that the same movie where the guy, the victim, is who made a book, but he's a liar and he didn't actually survive the trap, and then Jigsaw made him go through what his said traps were?
No, fuck that shit. That's fucked up. That's fucked up, gang. That's fucked up. Yeah, fuck those.
I do think it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because like it's John Kramer is the guy behind it. Then he has Billy the Puppet, which is just, that's the iconic Saw character, I guess. And then, of course, the other iconic is the pig, which is usually him, but also dawned upon a bunch of other people. Famously more Amanda, what's her last name? Amanda Young?
I think, yeah.
Which is also what used in Dead by Daylight. She's also the one that donned the most iconic jigsaw trap, the reverse bear trap, which is a very creative idea. And they only use it like several times, dude. They use it kind of sparingly, but I think in more and more future films, they use it like more and more because they realize how like everyone loves that trap.
I can't remember which movie it was. But it was one where he was against one of the apprentices, Hoffman, I think, and fucking what was it? It was like the end of one film. They put it on him, right?
Yes.
And it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna die. And then the next film begins, and then he figures out how to fucking beat it. If you don't have the key, he like fucking breaks a door
like,
with a little window in it.
Yeah, and then like it opens, but it gets stuck between the bars, which I feel like no matter what you do, that's still gonna rip open. I don't think that stops the device. I think it's still
it ripped open
up.
half of his face, like on his right side. I think it like ripped his cheek, and then he got out of it and then stitched it up, whatever. But like, I call bullshit. I think he should have died, but
and then
I don't know. That's a pretty cool trap. I think that's the only time I'm like, damn, that trap sucks.
Yeah, I like Jigsaw, but watching those movies, I'm not saying I'm squeamish, but I some of those traps, I'm like, oh man, that's gnarly.
Oh, like the fucking shotgun carousel one where it's like, oh yeah, you have this.
That
choose
one,
who you want to save.
That one's like upsetting. The ones that actually get me are like one of them in the second movie, which has a lot of bad ones. It's like there's the needle for the cure, and she has to put her hand in the box, and they're just razor blades as she puts them in. That one that makes me like, oh, because the way she's like pushing her arms down and she's constantly cutting her arms. And I'm like, no, please, I don't want to watch this. It's dark. That one makes me actually kind of like, oh.
No, those movies are fucked up. Good movies, mind you, but like, fuck, man, I don't. And here's the thing: I'm pretty sure I like how smart John's pretty smart, but like the glaze on that man sometimes gets a little bit too ridiculous. I feel like he would have gotten caught significantly sooner. And all his apprentices would have gotten caught than what's shown in the films.
Maybe the police force doesn't really want to cover up what he's doing.
Yeah, but like, come on.
Wasn't the whole plot of Spiral was that some of the cops are just corrupted cops?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, like the whole point is that they're kind of letting it happen. I don't remember Spiral as much. I just know it has a lot of famous actors. I know Samuel L. Jackson was there. Wasn't Chris Rock one of them?
Yeah, Chris Rock was like one of the central guys.
Yeah. It had a lot of like famous actors.
Fucking Saw. Yeah.
But yeah, that's Saw. I think. Is there any other plot points you have? Because I can't think of anything else to talk about other than just it's cool. I like Amanda from Dead by Daylight.
It's good, and of course, Saw kind of perpetuated the whole death game shit.
Oh yeah, and then also like the misquoted, like the "I want to play a game."
Is that actually misquoted?
I think he says all the time, "I want," like, "Do you want to play?" Or like, "I want to play a game." It's like one of the two. He says one or the other, and most people quote the other. Is
it the misquote? Do you want to play a game?
Yeah, do you want to play a game? I think. Hold on, I gotta search this. Saw misquote.
Oh shit! Yeah, I just found this in Saw franchise. This line he actually says is, "I want to play a game." He doesn't ask you if you want to play a game. He says, "I want to play a game."
Yeah, he's like, "I want to play a game." Yeah. It is a misquote.
Yeah, because the entire point is he's not giving blah blah. Yeah. Well, let me rock.
Yeah. So that is a interesting tab. But he's like, "I want to play a game." He doesn't say like, "Do you want to?" That is an interesting like misquote. Looking at misquotes are always interesting when you like dive into them.
It's because most of the time the misquotes come from like memes and shit. So the memes say one line like "think." The think mark think. He only says "think mark."
Yeah.
But they always add the extra think because of the memes.
Oh, but hold on, my music started playing. That's gonna be heard in the podcast for a second.
What?
Like a second of music YouTube tab open and it played music. I was like, oops, that's gonna be a jump scare. Any other horror movie? There's like hundreds of other iconic horror movie characters. We could probably still continue on for. I feel like. So you want to pick one? Do you have any? How many notes do you actually have? Let me ask that first.
I have enough. I have a lot. Sure, I could keep pulling shit out of my ass too. we got It from Pennywise from Stephen King's It. We have Jeepers Creepers by that one pedophile director guy. We got Okay, so I got 2 more in my notes.
Was it just those 2? Was it just those 2 left?
Yeah, because unlike you guys, I don't really like super hyper fixate on like internet shit. Like I don't get the pull behind analog horror shit and stuff like that. And I never really grew up on like sipping the juice of creepypastas and shit.
That's
all my horror proclivities come from not even games. I don't even do that much horror games. I think the first horror game I actually sat down and played was fucking Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, which you can go watch in my channel.
That is not what it's called. That's the TV show. And
that is the TV show. God fucking damn it! I'm scared.
I'm scared is what it's called.
I'm scared. Which you guys go watch in my channel. It has MrBonesy in there as he leads a blind dog. It's actually where the anyway. Good series. Good bits. It's also the origin of Trevor Bones.
That is the origin of where he calls me that nickname.
Anyway, let me put my.
Well,
so basically,
let's discuss it, and I'll bring in. I have 2 more characters I would like to discuss, but
okay,
one of them I don't have research on, and you will probably have to like lowball my researching on the second character. The last character I have is definitely something I will be inversed on. But let's talk about It.
So, It from Stephen King's series is Pennywise. So It is an extra-dimensional entity, and due to fucking Stephen King having some weird-ass connected universe shit.
Isn't like every single book he's made in like the same universe?
Or something like that. It's some stupid shit. He exists in something called the Outerverse, I think. I'm not. Macroverse? Something. Multiverse shit.
I know, like, the whole thing is that it's on like a turtle or something.
Yeah, and the turtle died, I think, or something.
What? Isn't that, like, what carries the whole multiverse? Is that
or
like
something. Okay, so in the Stephen King books, in the first part, like, when they're young, Mr. Stuttering Bill over here, he sees the turtle, right? And then he uses it to have strength to beat it the first time. But then when the second book comes, or second part, when their adult happens, and he's doing the ritual of Chud, or whatever, and he's trying to beat it in a mental game, right? Because, mind you, it's theorized that everyone in that all the guys have, like, The Shining, because The Shining is a thing, so they're off The Shining or whatever.
Yeah, because The Shining is also connected to and also Pet Sematary. Everything is connected, which is weird to think about. Because
it's like YouTube videos about it.
It's like, here's Johnny is in the same book as It.
So doing the ritual of Chud, he sees the turtle again, and he sees the turtle's fucking dead. And then he freaks out because he's like, holy shit, the turtle's dead. And then he starts losing the ritual of Chud. Chewed? Something.
I think
and
it's
Chewed. It's a whole thing.
That sounds more right.
No, he actually full on, like, freaks out. Like, in the book, he full on freaks out when he sees that the turtle died. Okay,
I did not know that. I do know. I'm gonna be honest. This podcast is probably gonna have a warnings message because it's Halloween theme, and Halloween anything is not just light or dark.
So the turtle's called Maturin. Maturin the turtle. He serves as the unseen, overarching protagonist of the novel It, and also part of the Dark Tower series, and also mentioned in the novel 11/20/2063. He is mentioned. He's a turtle and was one of the guardians of the beams that held up the tower. Blah blah blah. You guys can that shit. Basically, what happened was he's a turtle of cosmic energy. He existed before the creation of the main universe in the Stephen King novels. He was wise, kind, blah, blah, blah. He existed in the Macroverse, that was what it was called, and was actually the adversary of It. And also described the latter as its, what? They're brothers? I don't know. Described each other as brothers. Kind of weird. In It, Matron seemed to have, he saw, like, the main characters fight It, and involved itself when talking to Bill during the battle of when they were doing the ritual of Chewed. Blah blah blah. Who the fuck is Gan?
I don't know.
There's so much shit in this book. Holy fuck! I hate. Fucking
That's
Tim
why
King, you sick
that's why I only
bastard.
look at the movie and not like the old
Dude,
one.
the
I
books
look at the
have
new
some
one.
weird lore in them. If you sit down, you go through it.
It's a
But
rabbit hole.
basically, the turtle like gave him willpower and mental strength. Bill overpowers it, make it hurt, blah blah. And then the turtle tells him like, "Hey, next time, make sure you kill him." Then later, 27 years later, when Bill's an adult and he does the ritual again and he fights it mentally, he sees that the turtle's fucking dead because he choked on a galaxy some time ago.
What? He didn't even
And he
die in a
sees
cool
the
way.
giant. He sees the giant corpse, and then fucking got. He started pissing his pants when he saw it.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah. So yeah, the It books are fucking. The Stephen King books are actually insane because they're all apparently tower, which is its own thing. Blah blah. It's kind of crazy.
They're all connected, and that is the weird thing about it. Let's focus on actually it himself. I know we just talked about the books, but why don't we focus on the movies? Because I think the movies actually just made him more popular and more of an actual like what he is.
No, I dare say that the book it is significantly superior. Because what I don't like about the movie, or at least the newer ones, is they rely heavily on jump scaring and shit. Which, like, yeah, come on, everyone could do that. But what I prefer the book it having, which I think the original miniseries had a little bit more, is just the creepiness of it.
To be fair, I was mainly talking about the miniseries.
I'm gonna put a gun in your mouth. I'm just gonna pull the trigger and just go bat bat. But yeah, no, it himself is a weird little dude that feeds on the horror and the emotion off of people preferring kids because they're easier to fuck around with, but also kids believe in shit, which could hurt it. Because when it was a werewolf in the books, because werewolves, or at least because the kids thought werewolves are weak to silver, he was then damaged by a silver bullet. Not a bullet, a fucking a little silver ball in a slingshot.
Interesting.
So he got injured from it because werewolves are weak to silver, blah blah. So it's kind of a fucked up weakness when you really like if he's in a form that you think has a weakness and you believe that weakness is its weakness, it gets fucked up by it because kids have the power of belief and whatnot.
Yeah, you can hurt him.
Two-way street, which I thought was interesting. He's a very interesting dude. His real form is not a spider. It's the equivalent of what his real form is. You know, it's not its actual real form. It's what's closest to it. Let me mind you. Also, I didn't like how they make him a full-on like clown spider in the fucking newest one. He also was just a straight-up full spider in the fucking other ones. Like, I don't know. There's no fucking.
It's trying to interpret books, so it's.
It does its own interpretation.
Yeah.
It of course also influenced several horrible events in the town because it just likes it, like that.
Also made the famous "You'll Float" too.
That had no. I don't think there was like any actual book, and the only meaning I could because in the movie introduces the idea that he actually literally makes you float, which isn't a thing in the miniseries and the books. But then like the only thing I equate to like "You'll Float" too is like maybe like your corpse floating in the sewage water or whatever. But like even that doesn't make sense.
No,
But
nothing about it makes sense unless you take in that movie is the only thing about it. Because like the balloons and like
just read the fucking books, guys. They're all right. Sure, it gets weird, but like,
don't they have an orgy?
Anyway, let's talk.
Okay,
let's continue on. Stuff to do, you know. We have Jeeper Creeper.
Yeah, and Jeepers Creepers is I actually never watched any of the Jeepers Creepers.
No, this is actually a good segue because they share a weird like similarity. It has 27 years of like slumber, and I think Jeepers Creepers has 23 years, if I remember correctly.
Well, that's such an obscure amount of years of sleeping.
I know, but it's so Jeepers. Don't know his like full name. I don't know his like government name or anything. The Creeper, that's his name. I think.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Jeepers Creepers. It's one of the few.
Yeah, his name is the
watched.
Creeper. So the Creeper is from, of course, Jeepers Creeper. And he's a super fucked up dude creature guy. He's an ancient demonic creature that feeds on human beings 23 days every 23rd spring, which is super specific. He's of course portrayed by Jonathan Breck. Yeah, that thing is a demonic creature that eats body parts of victims. And every time he eats the body parts of its victims, it like replaces that part on its own body. It's a whole thing. He is, of course, incapable of speech, but in the first film, he was heard whistling the tune of, Jeepers Creepers, as well as in the third film, like a one that I can't remember, but it's not Jeepers Creepers. In the comics, they had to accompany like the movie. He apparently orchestrated a human sacrifice ritual during the age of the Aztecs. When Europeans first made it to the new lands, he apparently was responsible for the disappearance of the Roanoke colony.
Okay, interesting.
And he just kind of does horrible shit. And yeah, he's kind of strong too. In all the movies, third one specifically, is the only time we see him near death, but then he just hibernates. And then you just gotta wait until he comes back again. But he could just eat a body part and then fucking like replace the wherever he ate with. It's kind of weird, and he chooses his victims too. As seen in the one movie where he has him in the bus, he's like, "I want you. I don't want you." Like he kind of knows what he wants, either because maybe he knows what body parts he wants to eat from someone, or whatever other fucking reason. That guy's fucked up. He has a truck for whatever fuck ass reason. He has a magic truck. Huh?
He has a car?
Yeah, he has the truck. It's a old fashioned truck. It has like a catcher on the front. He uses it to transport bodies to like his cave. The license plate says "Be Eaten You." BEATNGU, which is supposed to be eating you, but also confused as beating you. It could go like 100 miles per hour, despite being an old ass truck. It's also revealed in the third film that's actually booby trapped.
Oh.
It could shoot a spear off its exhaust pipe. It has fire landmines. It has spikes on it. It's apparently completely bulletproof. Even the tires are bulletproof. The driver's side door can shoot a spear from inside to kill any prisoners who try to escape. Also, the Creeper himself is telepathic, so he has telepathic control over his truck, making it do any of its features using his hand or whatever. He's kind of busted. I'm not gonna lie to you, and he's killed a fuck ton of people. He's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I never watched Jeepers Creepers.
It's all right, Phil. I'm not saying they're the greatest thing.
I'll be honest. I was the entire time until like just now. My visual of what he looked like was the Terrifier guy.
Have you not seen like? Let me give you a picture.
I just looked at what he looked like, but yeah, for a good portion of this starting conversation, I didn't know what he was looking like. So
yeah,
my brain was thinking of Terrifying.
He's a little dude. He's a little dude. He's a freaky, you know.
He looks weird. He looks like a gremlin if he was a person.
I like that he has a hat. Kind of adds to his whole.
He really does just have like a cowboy hat.
Yeah. The director was a child.
Yeah, but we all know that he. Yeah, we all know that.
He was apparently inspired by something known as Spring Hill Jack, a cryptid during the Victorian era. It's apparently some kind of demon that would like do some acts of mischief, blah blah blah. Grabbing women. Oh, what the fuck?
That tells me that you learn a lot about Spring Hill Jack.
Crime, stalking, sexual assault, and pedophilia.
Well,
Okay, gang, what the actual fuck is the myth?
well,
Hold on.
that is funny that he was literally that myth and it inspired an actual. That's kind of crazy coincidence, is it not?
Spring Hill Jack was quite happy to commit several malicious acts, such as grabbing a poor woman in the streets, tearing her clothes off, and kissing her on the forehead before fleeing in the night. It was claimed that he also leapt into a path of a moving carriage, forcing the coachman to lose control and crash. What the actual fuck is this man?
That is a very
Yeah, look up Springfield Jack. Who the fuck is this man?
Springfield or Healed?
Sorry, Spring Heel Jack.
Yeah, okay.
He looks like a fucking Batman villain.
He does. Looking at him, he actually looks like like a Batman villain or something. He's like, it is I. He has like a rib cage. Looks like in one of his artworks.
What the fuck was this one, dog? This was crazy.
Cryptids are actually kind of funny because like of the idea of what is that? That's funny. Because like Mothman or Mothman is a cryptid. I don't know any cryptids really.
Spring Heel Jack is considered the world's first urban legend. Urban legend specifically, not like myth or folklore, but like one of the first folklore.
That is another interesting tidbit.
Fucking hell. All right. Well, fuck me, I guess. Yeah, Jesus.
That is interesting. That is a crazy side tangent we learned about. What was it? Jeepers Creepers.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any other things for Jeepers Creepers? Did you just fall over?
No, I don't really get anything else. You know.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, I think another good honorable mention would have to go to the xenomorph alien.
Would you consider that a horror icon?
I do. I 100% consider him a horror icon. Think about it. The original the original Alien movie is like really well made. It's like actually really, it has a lot of good stuff in it.
It's really, yeah, okay. It is listed as a science fiction horror. Wait, is it listed as a science fiction horror movie?
Yeah, it's a science fiction horror movie. It is
listed as a science fiction horror movie. Okay, I'll off my plate. I'll claim it as that. All right.
What did you think Alien like initially?
No, it was considered just a science fiction movie.
It's science fiction horror. It's 100% a horror. I don't know about other. The one that you probably would consider what you're thinking would be Predator, because Predator I would not consider a horror movie character. He's in like I would say
Predator
thriller.
Strictly just kind of a action character.
I would say action thriller because it does start off with like what's going on, but like he's more action. I don't count the Predator as an actual horror character. Alien, on the other hand, is because that first movie, they spend a good portion figuring out what's happening and like what's going on. And then, of course, androids are involved. And like he has several movies. The first two are really good, following Amanda Ripley, one of the main and only survivors of the first. Like I don't know where they're going for in space. I forgot. It's also set in the future. But I'm not sure how far into the future. The timeline gets kind of messy, I feel like, for Alien. Especially since there's a lot of movies that don't even say it's Alien, but then you see a xenomorph and it's like, this is connected to the same series. It's very weird. I'm not, like I said, since you didn't have notes and I didn't make notes, I don't know, like, other, like, I don't know any behind the scenes. Apparently, from what I've learned or been told, the reason why his head is so elongated, it was purpose choice to look like a penis, just so to make a male audience feel uncomfortable looking at the xenomorph. Whether or not that's true or not, that's just what I've heard. He's also inspired Frieza third form. That's what his inspiration is based off, is the xenomorph.
Actually, no, that's an actual thing.
Is
the
that
xenomorph.
A myth?
What?
Wait, what are you?
No,
talking
the
about?
whole penis thing.
Oh.
The whole penis thing. Horror behind the xenomorph was kind of inspired by this like French painting. You could look it up. But basically, like a lot of the horror behind the xenomorph, of course, body horror. A lot of it is kind of like sexual assault oriented. You know, like the fucking face hugger kind of looks like a vagina. It forces a phallus-like object in your mouth. The whole shebang. It's like the entire thing is kind of already like kind of sexually assault oriented. You know?
Yeah. It is kind of It was kind of gross. He's also very slimy and like wet.
Slimy
Xenomorphs don't have eyes yet. I think a lot of depictions of their skulls they have eyes. Weirdly enough, or eye holes.
Yeah, so behind like that black thing, like in the black visory thing is actually a skull. In some versions, like the human skull. Anyway, that's the painting that inspired the xenomorph design.
Interesting. That is interesting. That is,
as you notice, very phallic shaped head.
Very phallic in general. Yeah, that is a very phallic.
Phallic-y. Super phallic.
Another interesting thing about the xenomorph, which I always like, which a lot of people don't actually like. I know Widget had to learn this from me, is that the main xenomorph we probably look at is like, I don't know. I'm not sure whether or not like like the original design, but the ideal xenomorph is that they kind of adapt. So like, if a facehugger grabbed a dog, the xenomorph is going to be more dog-like appearance.
Yeah, that's how that works. That's why in Mortal Kombat X, it killed Baraka and it got his moves.
Yeah, so he is. Yeah, funny enough, he's also in Mortal Kombat and of course Dead by Daylight. I saw a bunch of memes of Bubba being like, "You're here," because they're in the same game and they fight each other.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very funny. The xenomorph, of course, they're like a hive mind kind of. There's a queen xenomorph that kind of makes all these eggs of the face huggers, and the face huggers get the of course, victims, and the victims become not victims. Yeah, the victims die from a chest burster, which grows up into a xenomorph. And of course, later down the line, they fight the predators. Because why not? It's actually teased in the movies that the alien, like, and xenomorph have like a rivalry.
Yep.
Which is very interesting, I think, because like it's a cool out there thing. Xenomorphs also have like some weird crossovers as well. Apparently, they fought Superman and Batman.
They always fucking do, dog.
And also Green Lantern. This image of Green Lantern though is crazy because he has a gun. I'll send it to you. Just Google alien crossover, and it's like one of the few
that's
images.
the Kyle Rayner version. What the fuck?
No ring, no hope. It's just him with a gun.
Why the fuck? Why does he still have his costume? Does he have the?
Yeah, I don't know. That's.
See, I know.
Funny.
I knew there was an alien. Like I know there's a Predator one. I think for Batman and shit. They do a lot of Predator ones. I think recently there's a Predator crossover where like Kraven taught them how to hunt the superheroes, which is super bullshit. But like whatever.
That does sound kind of bad. There's also apparently Star Trek versus aliens. Weirdly enough,
that one's kind of yeah. I could expect that.
I'm trying to find like more official crossovers because I don't want to just say anything I see is a crossover because that could be just thumbnails of people making stuff. But this is whatever this fan art is kind of irritates me.
Let me see it.
I don't know what it is, but like you would know. Why? Who DM'd me? I'm gonna ignore him.
I know who it is. What the fuck am I looking at?
I don't know what it is. Apparently, he fights Captain America.
A xenomorph or that thing?
A xenomorph.
Okay.
Xenomorphs in general are kind of interesting species to begin with, because of they're just kind of there. It's also interesting to think that the main xenomorph we see, they're just drones. Like they're intelligent. They're a hive mind, but they just kill and feed, and they're intelligent enough to actually take people back to dens and force them to have a face hugger on them. But they don't always do that. They just kill. They just survive. The androids and the alien movies quote them to be the best alien, the best living organism, because they're just
but that guy was kind of a glazer though. So don't.
He was a glazer. He was. But yeah, I like xenomorphs. They're cool. I like the design. They're very creepy. They're cool. Also for some reason there was some weird I don't know what to call it, but some weird stuff going on in that third movie with a clone of Amanda Ripley and another clone of the xenomorph, because they shared DNA from a xenomorph and Amanda Ripley. So they were weird with each other. It's also very fleshy. That xenomorph is very fleshy for some reason. It's very, very weird. I don't have other information or other stuff about the Xenomorph because I can't find anything. Apparently, from this comic strip, she fought She-Hulk. Yeah, She-Hulk fights Xenomorphs. Oh, what the fuck? And
What?
The Phoenix also fought She. What are these crossovers? Okay, I don't know anything else. I don't know any more stuff about the Xenomorph. Apparently, from what they fought, I could have sworn they fought the Terminator, but I don't know if that's. I can't find that. Whether or not that's real or not. Okay, yeah, that's real. Aliens versus Predator versus the Terminator. That is a crazy comic book, probably. Because, like, why? Because the Terminator kind of doesn't make sense in any other forms of, like, you know.
What do you mean? Like, he comes... yeah.
Like, that is a very obscure crossover. Very weird. But yeah, aliens are cool. I don't have a segue, and I don't know how to move on from talking about the aliens. And you obviously don't have more notes on other characters.
Nah.
So I think we should end off the note with one last character, one I talked about several times already. When's it ended off? Because, you know, new mascot and Blumhouse Studios made a movie popular, sequel coming out this year.
Oh my fucking god.
Let's talk about my boy, Springtrap, dog.
Well, that's a shame because we have another word for sponsors.
We're not doing a second word from our sponsors because we don't have 2 sponsors and a podcast, okay? Because I'm not doing that much.
God damn it. You're right because the board didn't appear. Fuck. All
okay.
Right, continue.
Springtrap, baby. First appearing in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, released in 2015, is said to be Purple Guy inside the suits. Purple Guy, who's been, of course, referenced and shown in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Those are the video games, of course. We don't ever see him explicitly. Springtrap is the main killer. And he's also, like, very cool. He's in Dead by Daylight. Of course, he's played by Matthew Lillard in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I guess now he has 2 voice actors if you count Matthew Lillard. His voiced by P.G. Haywood, which is like a British but very rough voice he has. And it's funny because he's British. I feel like a lot of people don't think about that. He's also there's a lot of interpretations of whether or not what his personality is, but the leading personality, which is also shown in the movie, he's a very egotistical guy. He's like very like talkative and very like boastful about, like a showman. He's like, yeah, look at me. I always come back. Like the next door in hell is open up. Yeah. But a lot of people, because of Five Nights at Freddy's 3, prefer the ideal that he's a silent killer, and then he's very quick and fast and intelligent. I like both interpretations. I do like the ideal that he's both. He's also
interesting
because of how FNAF has insane, crazy lore in the games, in books, which I'm going to be honest. At some point, I didn't drop out because of disinterest. I just couldn't keep up. So I'm not entirely sure how FNAF lore is for Springtrap, with especially how modern stuff is and how crazy it gets. But from my understanding and from what I remember from my years of following this franchise, Purple Guy, real name William Afton, went around, killed 5+ children. We know 5, but of course he killed more than 5. He made and ran the Five Nights at Freddy's with another business partner and killed business partner's child. He lost all of his children pretty much to his experiments to kill more kids, to achieve immortal life. And then later, due to the 5 children fighting back, he got entrapped in a spring lock suit, which made him, as we know him, Springtrap. And of course, he survived the fire of Fazbear's Fright, the building that's in, which also takes place in 2025, I'm pretty sure. That's the year he's actually in FNAF 3. And then later, you see him again as Scrap Trap, which is, I think, Phantom. I think that's not a real name that, like, is said in the games. That is his actual name. That's in most depictions and actual like shown stuff is Afton. Is just his last name. I think the design for Scraptrap sucks. He also lost an arm for somehow. I don't know why he loses an arm. I think his Scraptrap design is pretty bad, but once again, it's still Springtrap. I still think he's pretty cool. And of course, he has dies in Pizza Simulator, which is he's shown. And you play as him. You play as William Afton in Ultimate Custom Night, which that game is set places in hell. That is William Afton's hell. And apparently he's being tortured forever by the Golden Freddy ghost or whatever ghost it is by fan theories. I don't know. I think it's pretty sure it's Golden Freddy. And my version of how this story continues, which I think is better than what is going on with the sci-fi stuff, is that Glitch Trap is William Afton. Of course he isn't. Apparently they retconned, or I guess it's not retcon if it's never fucking clear. Apparently it's the Mimic. And it's a code that's mimicking William Afton's behavior. But I always interpreted that it's better that it's actually William Afton persisting due to the fact that they said that they salvaged the initial hardware and the initial burnt down mechanics and like, you know, just a bunch of the tech, and they scanned it and used it for the code for the game to get the AI. And it just makes sense in my mind that like if William Afton is being tortured in Ultimate Custom Night, and he's being like held there and not being let go to an afterlife. And then they salvage his tech from burnt down places. It makes sense in my mind that he was, because of this, like, it makes a better story. It makes it like to actually let things go and let things actually fade away. Withholding onto your anger is never a good thing. Because my thought was that because of him being tortured, he now existed again by becoming Glitch Trap. And then controlling Vanny, which is a Springtrap follower and stuff like that. But apparently that's the Mimic from new lore. I think it's pretty stupid. I do not like that new interpretation of the lore. That's how I always interpreted it. But that is all we very much know as Springtrap. Of course, in the movie, it takes its own story because Mike Schmidt is an actual Mike Schmidt rather than it being his son. And of course, Vanessa is actually his daughter, which is not true in the games. His daughter is Elizabeth, which becomes Circus Baby. And so, yeah, the movies is its own interpretation. And he also just kind of weirdly dies by putting on his mask, being like, I always come back. And that's all we know about Springtrap. I love him. He's my favorite character. And that's all I got to say about that.
This guy got the tism over FNAF, guys. Trust.
It's a ride or die. It's a ride or die, dog.
That's all I got. That's all he got.
You want to close off this episode?
Hold on. Laughost 37. Any notes? No? All right, cool. So, oh, you didn't notice him?
Oh, I didn't know you had a guest with you.
Yeah, he's just over there. Yeah, he's the one recording.
Oh, we're in an audio booth, and he's the okay. I didn't know that.
You didn't notice him?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I didn't notice him last time either, but apparently he's been. Anyway, yeah. So cool. That's all I got. So that's episode 2. To Doom Slater later, I will not be making a Easter Bunny episode. Fuck you. I will, however, be forced to make a Santa Claus episode for Christmas, and that's that. Yeah, so that's what you're getting, you sick fucking bastard. Yeah, so anything to look forward for the next episode, Mr. Trevor Fresher Bonesy?
I will make my subject. I don't know if I'll make it like Thanksgiving themed, but if I do, it's gonna be about family themed. If I do,
okay.
But yeah, that is episode 2 of Backbone of the Internet. I keep wanting to say like a different thing when I say back.
The Backbone.
Maybe that's what my brain's doing. I keep like saying the name of the podcast. But yeah, that is the episode of Backbone of the Internet. That was Ghost's episode, and now next episode will be my episode. Maybe it'll be Thanksgiving themed. If it is, it's gonna be family. I'm most likely gonna do Thanksgiving themed, honestly. And once again, that's me signing off. Ghost, any last words?
Don't trust the 3-eyed frog. He's real. He's out there. Give a fuck. No one believes me. He's out there. Just don't believe his lies.
And we'll see you guys in the next podcast episode on the next 15th. See ya.
Yeah, we'll see you later. But what?